So basically, we have obtained the guy they were stealing, and we're on our ship now.
Yeah, you're heading back to the Reaper.
Okay.
You're on your way there. Again. Any message, Vivian? Oh. Cool. Looks like we got everybody. All righty. Welcome back, gang. We've had our week of rest. Now we're back at it again. Zooming back in on the ongoing adventures of the B5, our team of intrepid heroes of the Shield of Celestia. As a recap of last session, in case anybody wants it, the party basically woke up after the battle with the Red Wraith, and had to put the ship back together, figure out who was doing what was going on, and they had to decide where the ship was going to go next. So the party decided to sail to the island, the floating island of Lagan, and after a slightly harrowing but ultimately very successful reverse docking attempt, was able to make it there in one piece without any further damage to the ship. You met a bunch of people there. You met the Dwarven Shipwright, or an Oddhammer. You met Aurelius Windsteer, who's kind of weird, cryptic dude who kind of knew way too much, like more than he should have, and revealed some juicy details about Aliceris, who at this point we know is Valaire's brother, whom she has been searching for this entire time. And you also met a Warforged medic named Tink, short for Tinkerton, who's kind of the resident prosthetic maker on the Lagan. He patches people up, patches Warforged up, and people up. And when you headed back to the docks after figuring out that another ship had come in, basically while you guys were there, you saw Aurelius being essentially kind of knocked out and being kidnapped by two people. Y'all had a short tussle, and managed to heroically rescue him from whatever they were going to do to him. So, y'all are now heading back to your ship, to the Reaper. To start things off, can I have everybody make a perception check for me?
Perception.
Starting strong.
Nat 20.
Nice, too.
A nat 20 from Alok. Okay. Very cool.
Oh,
It's a different day, different dice. They're cooperating today. Alok. No one else seems to notice this, but as you all are kind of hauling Aurelius back to the Reaper, you're making your way through these like the wooden floor of the docks. You notice amidst kind of the chaos, there's still fog cloud kind of dispersing behind you guys. You still hear kind of the splashing of both the waves and the two men who had dove into the water after y'all had made them think that he had escaped in there. You feel a pair of eyes watching you. Whatever just happened, some concerned party was observing this. You cannot tell from where. And it's interesting because you're being so aware right now. You're looking behind you. You're a rogue. You're sneaky. You're used to being able to tell when somebody's watching you, when people are paying attention. And you can feel that someone's paying attention to you. But for some reason, you can't see where from. You can't tell where from. And I think that in itself is something to notice, if that makes sense.
Sure. Weird.
There's the docks are suspiciously empty. And even now, as you're approaching the ship, you notice that there doesn't seem to be any of your crew milling about on the surface of the Reaper on deck. There aren't any Warforged manning their ships or kind of keeping watch the way that you were greeted when you guys first docked. It is suspiciously empty, but you still feel like you're being watched.
Guys, do you feel like someone's watching us?
Let's get in the ship first.
Just me. It might just be me. I think I'm a little cautious, but
Okay, so
tread carefully.
you all make your way. Who's carrying Aurelius?
I believe Tsuma.
I think Alok and I were tag teaming it.
Okay, yeah. So you both have like his arms kind of slung like over your shoulders. Are you carrying him up the gangplank to Alok the entire time? You were aware that these eyes are still on you, and as you make it up on deck, you notice that the ship seems empty. There's no loud sailors cursing. There's no people moving barrels around. There's no you can't even hear Simon having a nervous breakdown anywhere. So this is kind of a different look for the ship right now.
As soon as we get
Can-
there, I just want to do a quick thing.
Yes.
Oh, I assume the Slim Reaper has like the name of it somewhere that's visible. Is that true or not?
No.
Okay,
It actually does not have a name anywhere, but the what is it called? You know how ships have that thing where like at the tip of it, the part that juts out below it, there'll be like some carving, like a statue, not really statue, like a carving of something. Underneath that, the word for it escapes me at the moment. There is like a skeletal figure with a scythe, and that is kind of the identifying mark of the Reaper
Then
and
I
why
will,
it's called what it's called.
Use silent image, makes it look different. It's just a buff octopus man holding on, like a real buff octopus man.
Okay, so you're changing
Yeah,
what that
I don't
looks
want
like.
them to know it's our ship. Like these
Okay.
guys seem like they're from the government. Not worth it.
Got it. Makes sense. Specifically, they seem like they're from the Galenian government, from the Galen Republic, which is interesting because they have a king, but they're called the Republic. Oh well. They pretty much yeah, they're like, listen, we're gonna be called the Republic. We're good. Okay. You successfully do so. You kind of like go ahead of everybody up to like kind of where the ship comes to a point. Man, I wish I knew the word. You go past like where the helm is, and you. Yeah, the prow. I don't wanna. Yeah, think about it too much. But the figurehead is what the thing will be called. What the Reaper will be called. You change the figurehead to be something else. While you're there, roll me another perception check.
Oh, don't worry. Here we go. Hey!
Nat 22, nat 20 perception checks. While you were up there, because you get all the way up to the front, where the helm is, you as well get the sensation that you're being watched, and now that you're on the ship, you get the sense that the thing that is watching you is watching you. Ooh, we got you.
Yeah, my apologies.
No worries. You get the sense that that something is watching you from within the water.
Something's watching us from the water.
Ooh, yikes.
I'm going to just like look over the starboard, like look over the railing, and just like, can I get a good look?
The water is it's deep, it's blue, and it's mysterious. But I think, but as you are kind of like peering over the railing to look down, the sensation kind of goes away, as if whatever was watching you has now clocked that you know it was watching you. Suma and Alok, where are you taking Aurelius right now?
I'm actually gonna pass Aurelius off to Alok so I can free my hands because I want to cast a message.
Okay.
And I want to try to contact. It's within 120 feet, which is, I think, pretty big. I want to try to contact Simon, and just say, "Are you still on the ship, or did you go back to Laguna? You okay?"
You shoot that message. You kind of like, because you have to point your finger and pointing it around, kind of probably where you know Simon might be lurking, and it takes you a bit, and then eventually you hear, and then you see Simon like bolt up from like within a stack of like barrels and like sacks of flour or whatever. He kind of is like tangled in some ropes. And he rushes up towards you. They left. They left. I tried to stop them. I wanted to be known that I tried to stop them, but the
Simon,
crew.
Simon.
Yes.
I'd like
It's
to
all
rush
right.
down
Calm
and
down.
check on the animals.
Who left? The
Uh,
crew?
uh, yeah. It was Suzanne's idea. She decided that we're on a new island. Like we haven't had a break for a while, and she wanted to. She basically stirred everybody up and said, "Let's go to a tavern." Ha 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 ha. And I tried to say, the Shield never mentioned anything about that. The B5 and the captain and the first mate, nobody ever said anything about leaving the ship. That's when we were on the ship, and we didn't come with them because they didn't say we could come with them. But they left.
All right.
Anyway.
A little bit of shore leave never hurt anyone, at least for the moment.
That's why they were given the gold.
We were just worried because have you noticed anything unusual in the waters around here?
No. Actually, let me roll for that. No, I haven't noticed anything. To be honest, I got woken up when they all decided to leave because obviously they're making a big promotion. They're preemptively singing drinking songs. Completely out of key, by the way. I mean, I can't sing, but I have perfect pitch. Um, uh, as they were heading to the tavern, and after that, I mean, I've just been so exhausted. I haven't been sleeping.
Of course. You haven't slept at all, my friend. Thank you for telling us. That is good to know.
Yeah, I was sleeping in the barrels because they put me there and not because I couldn't make it to my bed. That's definitely what happened. Yeah.
Insight check.
Of
Something's
course.
off about his story.
Oh yeah, he definitely like expended the last of his energy yelling after Suzanne, and then as
Good.
the group like collectively flipped them off, he was like cool, turned around, saw a pile of ropes, and used it as a blanket. Um, uh, Buru, you are heading downstairs. You immediately head downstairs to check on the animals. You go in there. The animals seem to be chilling. They're not in any state of distress. Perhaps they're even a little bit yeah, not so much noise today. They seem in good order. The armored snail, the armored snail, is kind of just like meandering about. Do you do anything with the animals after checking in on them?
Feed them if I hadn't fed them this morning. I'd like to lock the door if we had a key for the door.
You feed the armored snail. You grab just like a sack of there's like a sack of kind of like meat that they've been feeding them, just like kind of like the bad parts that people don't want to eat. And you toss it to him, and the armored snail just kind of bows its head, and just like eats it up, devours it immediately. You lock the door behind you. Alok, give me a strength check. It's just a flat strength check to see if you can. 5. So Aurelius goes down, and you go down with him. Where would you say you are right now on the ship as this is happening?
It sounded like it was kind of when we got on the ship, so probably just in the middle of the top part of the ship.
Cool. Would it be fair to say you're kind of like you? I would say you probably would want to take him like below deck to like where beds are.
Yeah, I was on my way there.
Yeah, you're probably on your way there, and I'd say you collapse kind of like down the stairs. You manage to go down the stairs, but kind of on the last step, he like kind of full like kind of dead weights you, and you kind of go down with him. And he kind of
Yuma, help!
Sorry, coming.
If I see him,
I'll,
I'd like
I'll
to
help.
help
That
out too.
hurt. Shit.
Yeah,
so
I'll take him to a bed. Any bed will do.
you walk up to him, and he is kind of coming to now.
Mm.
Whatever had happened to him before, he's kind of like, what happened? Am I dead? The
No,
winds
not
don't say
dead.
that I'm dead, but I feel like I might be dead.
Not dead.
He looks up at you blearily, blinks his eyes, and he says, "Ah, my new friends. Did, did... Sorry, I am kind of a special, rare breed of wind cloak that can, sense a lot of things that happen ahead of time, and also things that have already happened. But I have no idea what just happened. So if you could kind of fill me in."
You were possibly being dragged away by people from the Galen Republic? They looked a little bit brutish. They were quite rude. And you were somewhat unconscious, which we did not prefer. So here you are. Do you have any inkling of who that might have been?
I know exactly who that might have been. Well, not on a name by name basis, but he kind of like kind of lifts himself up, and he kind of like just sits against the wall. He kind of doesn't want to get up at the moment. You can tell like the power in his legs are kind of not there with him currently. And he says, "Windseers are one of the rarest phenomena that occur within the Galan Republic and in Ela at large. And though I am still inexperienced in my craft and my abilities, we tend to prove extremely useful to those in power. Specifically, the Storm King has often had a Windseer by his side when a Windseer is alive in town. I chose to run away from that life following the incident with Aliceris, and I suppose that they've been looking for me ever since. But the reason that I chose Lagan is that the Warforged, are very secretive people. The Warforged, as a matter of principle, would refuse in normal circumstances to reveal any sort of information. There is no possible way they could have found me. I assume not too much time has passed since I first met all of you. Who else is here right now? Ruby, what are you up to? Are you around? Like listening to this conversation? Gal, are
I'd
you
probably
around
be
as well listening to the
following,
conversation?
probably just laughing after Elec dropped him, and then
Valid,
just standing
okay.
next.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I'm with her. If I was just listening to Simon, so when it was like, oh, they fell it seems someone else is doing the job. I'm fine here.
Got it. Cool. He looks around at all of you, and I assume Buru, you probably come up as well after locking the door behind you and kind of hearing the commotion, like a big thud of Aurelius hitting the ground. He looks up and he says, "Not too much time has passed since I first encountered the five of you. It is highly improbable that they would have been able to find me upon docking unless they knew ahead of time where I would be."
Are you or do you know if you are currently the only Windseer that is alive at the moment?
There is historically only ever been one. Um, in the cases where there has been more than one Windseer alive, often one of them will die almost immediately after the other one realizes their powers.
No, I mean, can I remember, out of character, can I remember if that small ship that the Republic officers were trying to drag him to was there when we docked?
No, they were not. They arrived after
Okay.
you. When you were up in Tink's place, they received Tink received a small like circular orb
Oh,
that
that's right. That's right.
clattered through the message system,
I remember
and
that now.
they had read it aloud. A ship had just docked.
Yeah.
Um,
hmm Yeah. Um, it sounds like they knew exactly where you were. This was no coincidence.
what startles me is that I should have been able to see this coming. I don't understand why I didn't.
I know there are some rare magics that can block divination. Do you think that that would block your Windseer abilities as well?
He kind of goes into a deep thought at this. He says, if such a thing as exists, I have not encountered it yet. But I suppose a learned wizard such as yourself might know a bit more on that subject than I. I defer to your wisdom.
I myself don't have the ability, but I know that there are those who do. Um, and if your abilities are as valuable to others as it seems they are, I wouldn't be surprised if someone went to that length. But rest assured, you are safe with us.
I'm very grateful. If there's anything that I could do in order to repay you, please let me know. And he kind of thinks for a moment, and he says, "It's strange. The last memory that I have is receiving a message. Have you been acquainted with the message system that they have here in Lagan?"
Yes, with the tubes and the thingies.
Yeah,
I
it's
say
it's it's
eloquently.
it's very reminiscent of a system that we have in Palestrom. And the last thing I remember was I was in my quarters, received a message, I opened it and was reading something, and then after that, the last thing I remember is waking up here.
Your quarters on Lagan?
Yes, I own um, a small room on the grid, and the grid is sort of where all of the non-warforged live here in Lagan. They're very small, humble rooms, but many of the people who live here have a reason to be running, so we tend not to ask
Mhm.
for much.
I don't want to rush you because you've just had quite a shock, but at some point it may be pertinent for us to go back and see if that message still exists.
Right. Yes. Yeah. At
I
once.
think that my crewmates and I should probably speak about what our next step is. We were just going to try to scrounge up some money, but this is perhaps more urgent. I don't know. Um, we'll discuss, but you should rest for now.
I appreciate that. Oh, I want to give you something. Um, and he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out a small crystal ball, like this size, that would fit comfortably in your palm, and inside it is a white swirling mist. And he says, "This is something that has always brought me fortune in my times. I am not exactly a wizard, you know. My abilities are not that which I can control to any appreciable extent. So I'm not particularly sure what it does, but perhaps my fortune has run out, and perhaps the 5 of you might need some fortune in your future. And he hands it to you.
I'll take it and tuck it away somewhere safe and just give a little bow and say, thank you. It's much appreciated, I'm sure. We will try to use it honorably.
Cool. So
Very
he
well.
kind of like closes his eyes. Are you guys gonna set? He probably can't stand by his own power. You guys gonna take him somewhere on the ship? Like, whose room do you dump him in or leave him in?
I'll try to leave him in. I don't know if anyone else has a bed, but like a proper bed besides the captain and the first mate. But
I mean, he deserves the best. I feel like he really ought to stay
Yeah.
in the captain's quarters. Yeah.
The issue with that is that like he might be not cool with frogs. I think the first mate is the best thing for him. It's very bare, nothing.
Are you Are you
Not
kidding?
even-
He's
well,
so
it's also
zen.
It is a hammock. Pretty nice.
We don't even
it's
know
a
what the
it's a
captain
wind
did
cloak
in
room.
his
It's already
previous
comfortable
bed.
for him.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
So gaudy. Ugh. You should really take the
He and
first
Valera were
mate's
best
one.
friends in their childhood. He really should stay in
Yeah.
her room.
Yeah. First mate's room.
But good thinking from
Nice.
you. I like that. I like
When
that thought process.
Cool. I guess Ruby, do you want to take him yourself,
Sure.
or did just people just
I guess.
go? Okay, I would say you guys probably just all go together. Take him to Ruby's room, lay him down on the bed. He's out like a light, and you can see that like his skin is normally like a light brown, and but he's looking really pale at the moment. Um, it has he doesn't remember being struck by anything or any sort of magic being cast on him. And inspecting him, I think you asked last session as well, but you don't see any like physical marks or abrasions on his skin. But something has affected him to an extent that you that he is in pretty not great condition.
Scurvy.
Someone roll a medicine check, actually.
It's scurvy. Let me just. I'm positive scurvy.
17. Cool. Okay. Buru, you have dealt with people washing up on the shores of Hadzi in your time. You've seen kind of the monks and the elders bring people in to like this little room in the monastery dedicated to receiving survivors of shipwrecks, and like it's like a long hall, like these very simple bare cots kind of lined up on both sides. And you've been around sick people. So you can kind of tell that this guy Aurelius is gonna make it, but something is like wrong with him internally. You don't feel as if his life is threatened currently, but that he's kind of in bad shape. But not like if you leave and come back, like he'll have like, passed. But yeah, that's what you can gather from that.
That being said, I'll probably head to the dining hall or the kitchen and find some scraps or leftovers, bring him to him before he falls asleep.
Sure. Yeah. You go in. Notably, Pat is not there. It's empty. You kind of have to scrounge around drawers for a bit, and you come back to him, and he's like has one eye. He has like one eye is like closed still and bleary, and one eye is like wide open, and like the eye looks towards you, and as you set his food down, he says he doesn't even pay attention to the food as you set it down. He says, I sense a great danger coming. And then falls asleep.
Cracking time.
Wait. Oh, when is it? Well, that's. We should probably discuss about the thing that's been watching us from the water. Anyone?
Yes, I wanted to mention that. I wonder if that's connected to how they found him. Maybe it's some all-seeing creature. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't want to take a dip right now to check.
Yeah, maybe that diving for treasure thing. I don't know.
Alright, so this has made me realize something though. This ship needs a doctor. And a good ship without a medic.
That's valid.
There is a good medic on this island, but it would be a shame to take the only one away from them.
Yeah, but he's also ostracized, so I don't feel that bad.
Well, can anyone here? Does anyone here know anything about being a doctor? I certainly don't, but
This man is afflicted by scurvy, I'm sure of it.
okay. So you're the doctor then. There you go.
And the doctor's medical opinion is we need a second opinion.
Okay.
You're also the captain, so we don't want to overwhelm you with,
Yes.
you know,
Sure.
You
Yeah,
know, maybe
Captain
Captain
Doctor.
Doctor.
very possible we can just put another job on Simon's plate. I think the guy never needs
Oh no.
Gallet, you get like a flashback of Captain Greenhide going, Gallet, you can't keep saying that anytime someone's not feeling well, they have scurvy. Do you understand that scurvy is a very touchy subject around sailors in general? And this does not deter you from assuming that this guy has scurvy, even if it's just kind of a joke.
the only thing I know about afflictions on the sea is scurvy, so I've got it down always.
Oh,
It's the only
I have
one.
something I'd like
The
to do.
HM slave.
Yep, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's true.
I love that. The
It's the
HM
video
slave.
for the party. Yeah.
Alright, well, okay, since everyone is off the ship right now, the ship. Should we just.
Can I ask where we're having this discussion? Have you guys gathered in the dining hall? Are you in someone's room, quarters? Where is everyone at while they're having this discussion?
I would assume.
I'm gonna stay with Aurelius. I'm probably like sitting at the foot of his bed, like on the bed, because I wanted to cast a spell on him real quick while everyone's
Sure.
talking.
Disintegrate!
Yeah.
Power
Spanish.
word kill.
Yeah, there.
Cool. Okay. What spell do you cast on him?
Detect magic.
Mm.
So it says for the duration, or I'll just put it in the chat because that's the thing that we can do with
Are you
technology.
ritual casting it?
I am ritual casting it. Yes.
Okay. Good. For this
So
specific
it
type of
takes
magic-
10 minutes. So while everyone's having discussions, I'll just be like casting it on the bed.
So, the things we might need to look at. We still need money. So, the diving operation is pretty good. There's also something in the water that was watching us, so that will probably show up later on in the water.
And
I want to
Oh, go.
resolve this spell really fast. Suma, as you were on at the foot of Aurelius's bed, you cast detect magic through your ritual. You took a couple minutes, and you can sense a very faint magic, like inside of his blood.
Ooh.
It is faint and kind of over time as you spend time kind of like checking in on him and like like kind of like nudging him to making sure he's still awake, kind of checking his pulse here and there. You notice that there is like it kind of dissipates. It's dissipating very slowly.
Okay. Good to know. I will note that.
Gallet, I do imagine if a danger is approaching an island, it's either coming by air or by water, and my vote is on water. So yeah, I don't know if I want to dive right now.
Yeah, that's. You know what? We're already sort of screwing up with them. We're already probably being looked after by their Gallon Republic from these guys. Let's rob their boat. Just putting it out there. Just rob their boat. They're probably not even in the boat. They're looking for us. Just go to their
I
boat.
don't.
Take their stuff.
I don't think they're
Everybody-
bad people. I think they're just doing their job, what they think's right.
In a large sense, we're also trying to do our job. We need
No,
money
it's
to
a
get
good point.
we need money to get off of Lagan, and we have no easy way of making money except for robbing them.
So I say we just steal what we need then, maybe.
We need a lot. Remember how much it costs?
Yeah, I don't know. I
we're
don't know how I feel about this.
we're not stealing food or necessities, but like, do they really need all that coin?
I'd rather do the diving than that. That's my opinion, though. We have a whole group. What does everybody else think?
Why not both? I really like this side to you, Gallet. I feel like I'm seeing a new side.
They don't need all their money. Is all I'm saying.
Hmm.
We don't know that.
They were kidnapping a man that did not want to go and did not give consent. That's kidnapping. That's as bad as the people that were smuggling animals. If anything, we're doing justice.
Okay, but
And if
you're
you look
saying
at it
this.
from employment perspective, they like failed their job since we have their victim. So
Well, yeah, but
But
they're
the
either
job's
way,
still
they don't
active.
deserve
They
their
haven't failed
money.
it yet. They just haven't succeeded yet.
yeah.
Right. They could still succeed.
If we take
Go on.
the smaller boat, how many people and animals can we haul, and how fast do you think we could go?
I don't think we're taking the
Why
boat,
would
are
we
we?
take their whole boat?
You mean
Oh,
like
you just
abandon?
I'm just saying they have coin
Yeah, I thought
probably
we were.
on their boat, maybe some items. We'd leave the food and we just take what they had.
Hmm.
They might
Wrap
have
'em.
nothing.
Yeah, we can't abandon our.
Yeah. Our whole crew is on this island. It's not like they abandoned us. They're
We only
on
really
shore
need Simon.
leave. We need. Okay, it's a very. I understand. Not all of us are seaworthy all the time, but this is a big enough boat. Gonna need a bit more people. It's a big enough boat. If we're ditching everyone, we steal their boat.
Right,
See,
that's what I was.
But
for
we do not gain anything from stealing their boat. It's a straight up downgrade.
Well, our boat doesn't work.
sure,
Unless
if
we
we get
get
the money and a boat.
If we're okay, so if we're already gonna steal from them, let's first steal their money and see if we can fix the boat with said money.
I don't know if I want to. Do you guys really want to make enemies with the entire government?
We
For
have
all we know,
already
the thing
done
that's
so.
watching us is their god, and sure.
We have already taken a really important. He is a windseer. Only one can be alive at a time. The king probably requested it. We have done this very quickly and didn't think too much about it. But I still want to not let him be taken. That feels like a weird. I don't like that. That personally for me.
What
That
about
feels weird.
Tasuma? What do you feel?
Are you all in Aurelius' room right now? Is that where this is
Yeah.
happening? Everyone's
Pretty sure,
there.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, just making sure.
I don't like these folks at all. I think what they did to Aurelius is unexcusable. I don't know about the stealing part because A, they would have to leave their boat, which we don't know if they will. And also, we don't know if they even have anything of value, do we? I mean, it's a tiny boat. They might not
It's a
have
small boat.
enough money for us to repair our ship anyway. It seems like a big risk, but I'm not sure what to do. The only thing that I know is that I want to make sure Aurelius is not taken by them. The rest, I'm not as concerned.
Buru, make an insight check for me.
Was it 500 gold or 700 gold that we need?
He knocked it down to 500.
500.
On an 8, there is no epiphany that comes to you at this moment in time, but perhaps later something will. I would like to resolve something. Suma is going to cast ritual cast Identify on the crystal ball that Aurelius has given him. What does Suma casting the spell look like?
I think that there's a lot of probably I go into sort of a meditative stance, cross-legged. I'm like drawing things in the air, like sort of symbols and arrays light up in front of me in sort of if anyone has seen Full Metal Alchemist, kind of like the
Gotcha.
transmutation circles. So it sort of looks
So-
like drawing that in the air and then releasing the energy.
Cool. So the four of you are like back and forth arguing about what to do, whether or not to steal a whole ship, from people who are still very much alive, and presumably looking for you. And Suma is still kind of sitting probably like in the corner, cross-legged, like these arrays like kind of lighting up around him. And Suma, as you get to like the final part of this identify spell, like instead of what usually happens, it's like the magic cracks. And as that happens, the mist inside of the ball kind of like fades a little bit, and you see like an eye inside the ball. And you hear a voice from inside of it. The voice says, "Ah, it's been a while since someone has tried to cast Identify on one of these. Very exciting. What's your name?"
I'll look around at my companions. Does it look like anyone else heard that?
Everyone hears that. Everybody hears that.
Okay, good. Not just me then. Hello. May I ask who we're speaking to?
Oh, right. That's usually the first thing I do. It's just, it's been centuries since someone's thought to cast Identify on one of these. These are very hard to find, I've spent, they only like a handful of them are still around in the world, kind of floating about. Most of them have returned back to me, you see. I am Portia Casaria, and this is one of Portia's portable portents. Um, to those of you who have played with a divination wizard, in one of your campaigns, or kind of like divinations have a wizard an ability called portent, and I believe how it goes. I don't know the exact wording, but like once per long rest, they roll a d20.
Oh
And
yeah, that thing.
That thing. So
Cool.
Portia says, I'm going to give you the mechanical out of character explanation for this item first. Basically, every day you can roll a d20, and as a reaction in combat, you can impose that roll on any roll that is rolled in combat or out of combat. If that makes sense to those of you who have not encountered that.
Mhm.
Ability. Yeah. So if you roll a d20 on your portent roll, and you really need that crit on somebody, like Alok has a sneak attack lined up, you can say, actually you crit, and then fight's probably over at that point. Cool. And she says, this is an artifact that I devised because I needed it at the time. That's why wizards do things.
As one does, yes.
We like to make stuff that doesn't make sense to fuck with destiny. And she kind of goes on this long tangent about how divination sometimes feels like a hoax, because things sometimes, like, it's like you get these prophecies, but what can you really do when you can't avert them? Anyway,
At some point, I probably just put my hands like this. I'm like,
she is talking your ear off.
Ah.
Essentially, this can bring fortune to who you want or misfortune to who you want. Use it responsibly. And then the eye like winks at you, and then it dissolves back into mist. And go ahead and roll a d20, just a flat d20.
She goes away. I'll just be like, thank you, Portia.
An 11. Okay, cool. So you can give anybody an 11 whenever you want, as a reaction in combat. Cool. So everybody is in Aurelius's room. A very long tirade has just emerged from a crystal ball. I want everyone to roll a perception check for me. Another one. We're rolling a lot of these today. Another one. Ooh.
Bless you.
Cool. Okay. So Suma and Buru, you hear it first. Um, Suma, you're probably like you were like doing such a good job of tuning out Portia talking that in fact you're hearing. It's like you had expanded your hearing to everywhere outside of the radius where you're like focusing on every other sound possible. And Buru, you as well. Um, were able to kind of like hone in on the sound. There are footsteps coming up the gangplank, to your ship. Heavy ones. Yes.
Just a question. Ever since we've like landed the boat, or after the fact we got the Windseer on our side, did we have any time for like? Did we have a short rest anytime in between or not?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
You guys have
assuming
been
you-
chilling in Aurelius's room, kind of just like hanging out, low energy. I'll give y'all a short rest.
Okay.
I'll stand up in place and say, "Someone's coming." And I'll nod towards the nearest door to the gangplank.
Gangplank being like the thing that is like basically just a big bridge from your ship
Yeah,
to
like
the dock.
the
Just
door
make-
to where we would exit the room to go outside. I
yeah,
guess is
yeah. Okay, cool.
what I mean.
I
Yes.
go outside of the. I quietly. I'll try to go outside of our room and cast silent image on the hallway we're in to look like it's a wall, so it looks like nothing's even here.
So it seems like nothing is even here.
Yeah, like it. We're just. I assume we're in a hallway. Just cut
Yeah,
that off,
you're in a
and it's
hallway.
nothing.
Okay, cool. You cast that very successfully. And you as you're in the hallway, you're kind of like the steps leading up to the deck are kind of like you can see where it is. If someone came down, they might not be able to see you if they came down the stairs, but you can see the stairs, and you can hear like a voice calling out like, "We know you have him in here. Come on, don't make us come get you. We know you're here."
I would like to hide.
In the room that you're currently in, or do you want to go out somewhere and hide somewhere?
Is there a door adjacent to where we are that I could sneak into, like across the hall that's been hidden?
If you want to sneak into like another room,
Mhm.
yeah,
Hopefully, still
for it.
behind the illusion.
yeah. I will say no stealth roll necessary because they're not even in. You don't even see who's there or how many or where they are. You know they're somewhere on deck at this point, though. And they continue calling out for one reason or another. They're not coming downstairs.
Okay. So
Gallant. Okay, yeah.
coming downstairs. That's fine with us. I think we can just straight up either wait this out or they're gonna start burning the boat. So either is it like a wait? Give me 1 second. Question, DM. Does
Yeah.
this boat have any like portholes you can? Wait, no, it's got little holes for cannons in the ship. All right.
Yes.
So the plan is, all of us sneak out of the boat through the holes, then somehow climb back up and surprise them.
You want to climb. Okay, so you want to climb up the side of the ship.
It's either that or make.
I
very
will.
loud
I will allow
noises.
this. It'll be a DC though for sure.
I mean, that's a pretty good idea, right?
As
Maybe.
you guys, as y'all are talking, you feel the ship lurch a little bit. Like everything goes slightly.
So
Okay.
fix my plan, yes or no? Come on.
You hear a
I'm
voice
gonna-
from above. That's one down.
One down. They took something. Come on.
Maybe they threw a cannon off or something.
Okay.
Did we hear like a splash of water?
Forgive me, but make another perception check.
I probably didn't hear it.
13. You hear something snapping.
Oh, we gotta go now. We gotta go. Okay, I'm gonna start going to the hole, the cannon hole, the one that can open because we know what like others can't. And I'm gonna try to with my 2 daggers and climb back up.
Okay. First off, which side? So the gangplank is on the side of the ship, right? Are you climbing up the side of the ship where the gangplank is on, or the one that it isn't on? There's like
Isn't
one
on.
bridge from. Okay, so the opposite side to where somebody would enter the ship. Okay, making sure. Go ahead and I feel like that'd be athletics to literally scale something. So roll an athletics check for me.
Oh, don't worry. I'm known to be good at things.
A 3.
Dude, the daggers help him at all.
I mean, even the easiest DC is a 5.
Yeah.
So I feel like
I'm
so
slowly
you
going down.
did anybody else come with him to enact this plan?
Yeah, I would have probably on the opposite side of the ship.
You would have done that on the other side?
Yeah, athletics, right?
Okay. Yeah, you roll 1 as well.
I was gonna stealth up to the stairs, but try to stay out of like eyesight to the entrance.
Okay.
I'd like to
Alok,
like not peek above the deck if I can.
to scale up something which is actively rocking will be difficult. So I will say while a 12 is not a critical failure like a 3 would be, you kind of like as the ship lurches a little bit, and you finally see Buru why the ship lurched. When you docked on Lagan, the boat was with ropes tied to things on the dock to keep it stationary. And you see from your side that one of the ropes snapped, and that is what Alok had heard something snapping earlier, and kind of like, something snapping that's holding it in place makes it lurch a little bit. As you were up there, I guess down there, they're not looking there, but you see the 2 Galinian kind of agents that Aurelius was talking about on the deck of your ship, actively one of them is like this long-haired fighter-looking guy with broad armor and a long sword. But he has his long sword sheath. He has a dagger, and he's like severing another one of the ropes. Suma and Ruby, which way did you go?
I'll go through the hallway towards the stairs.
Towards the stairs. Ruby?
I kind of want to make a break for it, like try to run past them. Actually, no, that wouldn't work. I was like, I could pretend to be Aurelius and like use thaumaturgy or something. I'm super short, so I don't think.
Actually, I'm still in the water. Go back there, please.
No, I was gonna like run with like a hood over and then like have his voice like, you can't get me or something, and then
Okay.
yeah.
While I can see that probably would have worked if you weren't a dwarf, probably no. I mean, you can still do it if you want to.
Could thaumaturgy make me look taller and have his voice?
No.
No.
I'm gonna say like you might be able to like try to mimic his voice. That'd be a hard. The only thing you can alter the appearance of is your eyes. I believe. With thaumaturgy.
I think your skin color too, or is that prestidigitation?
I will stay with
like
Aurelius then.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna stay downstairs. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So, Buru, you are hanging kind of like. Are you just using your hands? Your hands are kind of like wedged in like where the ship is damaged. There's like some cracks in the hull above water that you're kind of like dangling from as you are like watching these two men sawing away at one of the ropes. Alok, roll that stealth check for me as you are creeping up the hallway.
Oh boy.
A 9. You make a bit of noise, and Buru, you hear over the sound of the waves. There's like a shorter, still burly man next to the fighter-looking dude. Go, Claudius. I heard one. Um, Ruby, you are chilling with Aurelius, and she's kind of like, danger, sense danger. And Gallet on that 3 athletics climbing. Your daggers remain stuck to the side of the hole, but you topple back. I guess I'd say you you had one pinned, you were reaching up with the other one, and the other one slipped. So like you have like one dagger on you as you were falling into the water, but the other one remains embedded in the hole with a big splash. Hit the water.
It's so cold.
It is cold. It's still like mid-afternoon. Buru, as you can see both of them stop working on that rope and both turn to like at the sound of the splash, and they both cautiously like walk over that way. Alok, you are up the stairs now. Your momentary lapse in stealth kind of covered up by this loud splash. What do you do from here? You can kind of, from where you are, I'm assuming you're probably kind of like peeking around a corner.
I didn't plan on going up the stairs. I was gonna stay at the bottom.
Oh, okay. Still at the
Just
bottom.
out of
Okay,
sight.
okay.
Yeah.
Cool. In the quiet, you can hear the footsteps on the other side of the ship going across the other side. Buru, go ahead and give me another athletics roll to get back up, all the way up onto the side of the railing. An 11. You make it a little further up, but this is beginning to be taxing on you. As the further up on the ship, the kind of harder it is to like find places for your hands to grab. But you are still hanging in there. Gallet, these two men approach you.
I'm in the water.
They peek. Do you dive in, or are you waiting?
I assumed basically just fell plop in the water. And while I'm
Yeah.
in the water, I'm like, oh god, they heard me. The wall that's in the ship that gets dispelled as I make a new silent image in the water, and it's the Windseer, and he's like trying to swim the other way from me, other way, and he's doing it right below the surface, like he's really crappy at being stealthy. Like they can see his outline in the water, but he's not technically up. And I'm gonna swim the other way.
Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna the fire has a -2 to intelligence. But the other person with him does have a +1. So I'm just gonna roll on like in front of everybody 1d20 -1.
My DC is a 13.
So the fire sees you. 1d20.
Ooh, can I replace that with an 11?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So he rolls a 10 then. He rolls a 10. He is fully convinced. Let me roll for the other guy.
All right, you got another one in there, right?
Yeah. Portia
How many
has.
times a day?
7.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay. So,
Thank God for Portia.
okay. So, these two see like the figure of Aurelius kind of very elegantly, like gracefully freestyling. He's kind of like diving in and then coming back up, the way a Windseer might glide through the water. And they both go, "There he is!" And they drop everything they're doing, like Never mind the business with the ropes. There's our quarry. I don't care about anybody else on the ship currently. How long does this last? Up to 10 minutes or a break in concentration. Okay, cool. They run over. Okay. Are you sending the silent image going like out into the ocean or towards the dock?
Towards the dock on it, just like basically just going alongside it, not going onto land, just swimming in the water alongside the island.
Cool. Cool. Okay. Let me. Okay. I'm gonna bring y'all over. 1 second. Just for some clarity. This is where we're at currently.
Okay.
So, Gallet, you are in the water on the opposite side of the gangplank. Suma and Ruby are both still downstairs, correct? Downstairs
I
in
think
the
I
LS
would
area?
be just coming up the stairs.
Okay, so you're kind of up the stairs. Alok, you're kind of like explicitly not going up the stairs. Buru, you were kind of dangling on the side of the ship here somewhere. And this red X is marking the rope that has been snapped. This is where everybody is. These two people have are chasing a shadowy figure of Aurelius. They kind of move towards this way. And now I am going to make a roll. Galad, what is your AC? Is it 14 hit?
A 14, of course it hits.
Okay. You feel like a piercing pain in your shoulder. Dealing. Cool. 2 damage. You whip around and you can see deep underneath the water. You see a pair of blue eyes, like in the depths, looking up at you. And I think at this point, nice, cool. At this point, you can tell that this is what was watching you earlier.
What is it?
Make a perception check for me. You're in water. You don't have goggles on or anything. It can be kind of hard to see. It's salt water. Make a perception check. 11. It is vaguely humanoid looking, but as you are looking at it, you see that the hook, that is in like your shoulder at the moment, leads back on the fake rope, and it doesn't go to a hand clutching a rope or anything. It goes all the way back up to a shoulder. This hook is at the end of something's arm, which is extended far enough to hook you at the moment. Roll a strength save for me.
Here we go. 0.
Oh, buddy. Okay. Okay. You feel this thing yank you towards it. And it gets, as you get closer, you see that this is one of the Warforged that greeted you when you first docked at Lagan. And I'm going to go ahead and put them up here. So you see this guy now. He's pulled you in. I would say you're about 30 feet underwater. How about that?
Yeah.
He pulls you in, like rips the hook out. What do you do? Nobody else knows that this is happening. I'm assuming Alok, you are coming around the corner and maybe make a perception check, Suma and Alok. Actually, you were like kind of the closest ones to this. A 13, an 8. Suma, you hear like some splashing, and immediately you don't hear like Gallic cry out or anything, but you hear something go under the water.
Can I tell whether Galen guys are still on our ship?
They're still on your ship. I will say, make another con save for concentration. After that nat one strength save. For Gallet, sorry. Make another concentration save.
I'm great at that.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, we're fine.
Okay, that person is still the fake Aliceris is still chugging along. These people are all the way on the other side of the ship now. Buru, you actually see them like kind of rounding the corner. And actually, yeah, Buru, you make an investigation check to see if you believe the silent image exists.
He's out of here.
A 2. Aliceris has Aurelius has teleported and is now swimming in the water, healthy as ever. This doesn't make any sense to you, but somehow it is happening. Suma, you round the corner over here.
I feel like I wouldn't come all the way out
No.
if I sensed that the Galen bros were still on the deck of our ship. I would wait like just underneath the stairs to wait them out
Cool.
because
Okay.
I don't know what's happening to Gallet.
These guys fully make their way. You kind of wait for these guys to kind of just leave. They kind of like get on the gangplank, and by that point, you can hear them because the sound of feet on a ship, the resonance, the echo of that is different than footsteps on like a wooden plank. We're gonna cut back to Gallet. Gallet, you have been pulled under by this war force that you had seen earlier. What do you do?
I'll move my ring in front, and I know with disadvantage I'll be doing this attack, but I will attempt to Eldritch Blast him in the mouth.
Go for it.
Okay. 1, 2. I doubt if it
The
hits.
the 9 does not hit.
But
However, we had established previously that because your Eldritch Blast is a pressurized burst of water, if you use it in water, it'll propel you in the opposite direction. So Suma, you're now rounding the corner, right? Now that you can tell that these guys are leaving.
Yeah, once they've gotten off the deck, I'll try to be as stealthy as possible, but sneak around to the side where I heard the splashing.
Okay, so you round the corner, having been so careful. Alok has been kind of following behind Suma this entire time, and all you hear like quiet on the ship as the Galenian bros are kind of leaving at the moment. All you hear is like, and then like Gallet like pushing up into the air from the sheer
Oh my
pressure
God.
of the Eldritch Blast pushing him up. You fully clock this. Gallet, make a deck save to see if you can grab anything kind of on the way down. You don't like make it all the way up above the deck,
yeah.
but like you were like close enough to the hull that maybe you could grab hold of something. So make a deck save.
Maybe I can grab my dagger.
An 11. I'm gonna say an 11's not gonna cut it.
Yeah.
You fall back down. But Suma and Alok both now fully know where you are. So you can go ahead and move your tokens to wherever you feel like you would be after seeing this occur.
Okay, so
Okay, over here. Can I try to lower a rope down?
Sure. Yeah, there's like ropes everywhere. It's a ship. There's definitely
I'll
ropes
just
everywhere.
grab a random closest to random one.
You lower a rope down. Gallet, you grab it.
just putting this out there though.
Yeah.
Since Silent Image requires my action for it to continue doing its thing, basically the Windseer, he's just like sort of dead in the water right now. Because he's not moving.
You see the Windseer. I'm just gonna grab a random token.
Dead.
This is not.
He
I've
died.
not anticipated this development. I'll be very real with you. Let me just grab a random character to be Aurelius right now. This guy will do. This guy right here. He's just in the water. This is Aurelius, just chilling in the water. The fighter and the Glynians are kind of like trying to fish him out currently. Cool. So, Gal, you have grabbed hold of this rope. Suma, make a strength check to see how well you can pull him up. Alok,
Oh,
you're nearby.
boy.
You can give the help action if you
I
like.
will help. Yeah.
Please.
So
I am
go ahead and
not
roll with advantage.
strong.
There's a robot down here.
We have 3 people with -1 to strength.
16. Awesome. 16. Very cool. So you pull him up, and for a moment he gets yanked down. But the both of you are like kind of tugging on this rope, and Gala is also trying to go up, and you can see that as he rises up, there's like a hand like hooked onto like part of the cuff of his pants. And eventually that part of the trouser like kind of rips off as you heave him back onto the deck. We're gonna cut to Ruby right now. Ruby, you're in Aurelius's room. Make a perception check for me. A 9. So, Aurelius has been muttering in his sleep, just dangers. I can sense it on the winds. And you're kind of like, how would you respond to this man, like seemingly in the throes of despair right now? I'll let you
Kind of
tell
like
me.
he's a child. Like, okay, shh, it's okay. Like, you're fine. You're fine.
As you are sitting there, your back to the door. You see above your head flies a small sphere. It cracks against the wall, and you can't see anything. But a pours out of it. Make an insight check for me. Or actually, what do you do? Just tell me what you do.
Wait, so it's like a grenade kind of, not like a grenade, but like a ear gas thingy, kind of like that.
You would know that it's something kind of like a gas canister going off, but Ruby would probably have no idea what it is, not having encountered anything like this before. I guess make an insight check to see if Ruby would recognize this as danger alert or not.
Damn it!
It's fine.
You're
Who
fine.
cares?
It's a 1!
Ominous gas.
Good.
Yeah.
That's it. That's in that one. Okay, interesting.
Oh god.
Okay, so you stay in here for fully way too long. Make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
A 9. I will say that the moment you can feel like your body getting heavy, and kind of like beginning to be unresponsive, and instinctively you push yourself away from the bed, stagger backwards into the hall, and collapse. You are briefly incapacitated. Cool. Okay, so
What?
Gallet is now above deck.
Are you okay?
Yeah, thank you. There's a robot down there. It's the guy from the.
Huh?
It's the Warforged from before. The one that. Like,
Why
raided
was he
us.
trying to?
I might look like fish in the water. I don't know. Where's the
He
other
stabbed
guy?
you?
Yeah. Look at that. Yeah, he got me.
Ugh,
All right. So.
I didn't want to see that.
Oh crap! They already know the illusion's wrong. They know
The
the
what?
illusion. I said illusion. They're distracted.
Yeah,
Now's
what
our time to
illusion?
strike. It's the strike. It's the winds here. We need to strike now. Strike hard. Everyone with me?
I don't get it.
Okay.
Sure. Yes.
Buru, give me another athletic. I will say by now, Buru, it's taken you a while to get back up, but I don't need you to roll for this one. You managed to clamber your way all the way up.
Seeing the illusion and the two guys, I would have liked to have like tried to sidestep my way to underneath the gangplank.
Sure, that would involve swimming. Like the gangplank is above the water, like the whole everything, all this like above, like a little bit above the water. So you'd have to like dive into the ocean to like and swim closer. It's kind of hard to render like vertical distance, but
Never mind.
Yeah,
I'll
you want to just
just,
climb on deck?
Yeah.
Cool. These guys are gonna roll perception checks to see if they see. Nat 4, Nat 2. They don't notice you. They've now both fully dove into the water. To try to pull him out. However, the silent image does not hold up to physical touch. So at any moment, they're going to realize that this is an illusion for realsies this time. But you are all aboard. Buru, make a perception check for me. Once you are aboard the ship. A 9. You do not notice anything. All right. Okay. So 4 of you are above deck. Ruby, you are conked out. In Aurelius's room. Make another con save for me. A 3. You are still knocked out. Cool. All right. The 4 of you who are on deck. What do you do at this point?
Gally, I think we should wait for Ruby to get up before we attack. She'll be here any second. We should wait any second now.
Are you sure they're
She was
really,
right behind us, I'm
they are
sure.
extremely vulnerable in the water.
Can I
Your call.
can I message Ruby and ask? They're in a vulnerable position. Are you able to come help us?
There is no answer. Conspicuous.
She's on her way. Trust me.
You know what? I have
Y'all-
a great idea. You guys fight, and I'll go get her. Huh? Perfect.
You're the captain.
Fine.
Okay.
But someone go check on her.
And I'll cast Expeditious Retreat and just zoom down.
Cool. You zoom downstairs. The 2 Galenian members realize this is an illusion.
It's just not
Everybody roll initiative. I guess.
Mm.
Yeah, even you, Ruby. Everybody roll initiative.
Could I have gone against the wall here before, like while he was running down?
Yeah. I will
Okay.
say that both these guys are gonna have to spend a full turn getting back onto the dock and then getting onto the gangplank to try and like go for you guys. So like you kind of have a turn of like an extra turn ahead of them. Surprise, I guess. You'll have surprise. Wow, very close rolls. Okay. I'm gonna roll initiative for these guys. Who will you go first, regardless? Both go last. Okay. What do you do? Let's see. These guys are both like kind of trying to get onto the deck. This guy's gone.
Aurelius do be able to fight too or no?
In his condition, most likely not.
He has scurvy.
No, he does have scurvy.
Right. Right, he needs fruit. Stat.
Buru, what is your move?
Oh, you're muted.
Oh yeah, you're muted. Sorry.
I'm just getting into position in front of the gangplank. I assume they're going to attempt to come back on board, but I'll wait here.
Almost certainly. Did you say anything to them, or you just like stand there imposingly?
No, I just stand there.
Cool. All right. You see, these guys are like spending like this entire round basically just like clambering up onto the docks. They don't notice you yet. That is Suma. Is your turn.
Alrighty. Let's see. I don't know if I'd be able to do this all in one go with my movement, but could I move forward and then sort of hurdle myself over the little side of the platform up here so that I can get kind of a bird's eye view?
Sure. Yeah. You have enough move. I would say that it would take some of your movement to get all the way back up there. So you would
Mhm.
not have any spaces to move after that once you like kind of
That's
climb
fine.
up.
Okay, that sounds good. And then I'll just
Oh, I totally forgot.
I'll just
Continue, sorry.
ready my action to trigger if the Galenians make a hostile move towards any of my allies. I'll shoot a little firebolt at them.
Cool. Readying your action for firebolt. Give me 1 second, really quick. Cool. Alrighty. That's going to be a lock. It is your move.
Okay. This is completely up to you. Would my stealth from earlier carry over, or is this a new stealth?
This is a new
I'm
stuff.
fine.
Everybody who could have
Okay.
perceived you earlier has fully done a lot of other stuff.
Okay. I'll try to like run along to the steps here and like still trying to stay down a bit, try to hide there. So I'm out of sight a little bit below.
Cool. Got it.
I'll just stealth for my action. Wow. Okay, but that's it.
Cool, that's fine. They're nowhere close to being able to perceive you at this point. Actually, while you are crouched down there, make a perception check for me.
Sure.
A 10. On a 10, I want to say the heat of the battle, the heat of the situation is a little too intense and confusing. You don't notice anything particularly strange. That's gonna be Ruby. Make.
So can I?
Yeah.
Do I do things or am I not?
Here's what I'll do. Roll a religion check for me.
Religion.
Yeah. A
Ah!
14.
Finally, it broke 10.
You kind of flicker your eyes awake for a moment. This is basically undone one of those failed con saves. Essentially, is what has happened. You are not in fighting order currently, but you are a little more aware of your situation. You kind of are kind of conscious now, but you feel your limbs are kind of deadened. Your skin has grown pale, and you feel cold. But you are awake. I would say maybe at this point a little too weak to do anything at the moment. Sorry, you stayed in the room with the target.
You're good.
All right. So the cleric and the fighter are going to go. They're fully going to use their action to climb up onto these docks and take their movement out. That's as far as they can go. The fighter kind of stands, draws his longsword, looks at you, Buru, and he says, "Enough trickery. Let's have a fight." And it is back to your turn.
Ooh, Gallet.
Oh,
Hi.
yes. My bad. Yes. Yeah. So where are you headed off to?
I'm headed towards the room where it happens.
Cool. I will say that with your movement and your bonus action and the expedition retreat, you make it there this turn, and just in time to see Ruby's eyes like flicker awake.
What happened?
I
Ruby,
say
you can
something
speak.
or
Yeah, you can speak.
there's like a bottle of perfume or something that just knocked me out. Check on Aurelius.
I assume I
I'm
go
fine.
on my next turn.
It's just outside the room. I'll say you can do it now.
Holding my breath.
Yeah, holding your breath. I'll say, make a Constitution save with advantage. 19, perfect. You go in, breath held. You walk up. You kind of go up to Aurelius, and you see that there is a very faint gas like circulating throughout the room. It's like wafting out of the room and like through the holes like in the ship that you're in, and like the window, and there is like I think almost as if he's not really controlling it, a little bit of like wind circulating around his face that is like keeping this poison out. Do you wake him or do you say anything to him?
Slap! Try to wake him up with a hard slap.
Oh, what was that for?
Wake up, we're leaving!
Why are you wet?
That's it,
Uh,
that's all I got.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna roll initiative for Aurelius. Okay, that's 10. So I would say he goes right after you. You just woke him up. He kind of like, kind of like pushes himself up, and he looks at you, Ruby, on the ground, and he lifts a hand, and like some of the protective wind around his face leaves through his hand. Circles kind of goes into your nose, and you feel some of this gas leave you. On your next turn, you'll be able to take actions and move. But after doing so, Aurelius falls back on his bed.
Oh my god.
He's not going anywhere. Cool. I think we resolved everybody. Buru, your move, my friend.
I'd like to hold my action till one of them comes close enough in my range, and I'd like to try to grapple them.
Cool. Great. You stand your ground. Do you say anything to him? Do you have any response to what he said to you, or are you just
Nope.
stoically like?
Stand
You
there
shall
with
not
no
pass,
mask on,
kind of-
just
Incredible.
waiting.
They don't deserve to see your mask. All right, Suma, you are up on this platform. You have a good view of the situation. You watched Gallet dash downstairs. You were seeing Buru like his back just kind of like broad and flat, just like his like facing down these two Galenians. What is your move? You're muted.
Sorry. I will
You're
help
good.
Buru to defend for now. So with my bonus action, I'm gonna start my blade song. So all these things happen to me.
Awesome.
And then I will move as far as I can. If I can, I will sort of slide down off the edge to here.
Yeah, I will say. What does Suma look like as he's doing his blade song in combat for the first time?
Yeah, I think his style is a little bit of like whirling dervish styles. There's like a lot of like spinning and using momentum to sort of propel himself in a direction or over an edge. So kind of a side flip over the edge.
You land this with so much grace, and you see the fighter kind of look over, and I like watching you do that, and you can see him smile. Cool. You have a lot of movement now. You have 2 extra squares of movement. Are you gonna stay put right there? I will say with your blade song active, there's no movement I won't penalize you for movement.
Okay.
For like jumping off, because you're jumping off, not climbing up as well.
Cool. So if I can I move to, let's say that was 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and then I have 10 extra feet because of the blade song, so I don't know if I could get like up to here, right next to Buru.
Yeah. 1, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. You have an extra
Sweet.
Space of movement. You can use it if you want. You don't have to.
I will not use it. I will stay here.
Cool. Are you gonna cast any spells or make any attacks?
And then and that's only my movement, my bonus action. So yeah, I'm gonna cast Firebolt at the cleric looking one.
Cool. Wise choice.
Plus. Boop. Sorry.
12. Unfortunately, a 12 is not going to hit.
Okay.
You cast Firebolt, and the cleric kind of ducks out of the way at the last moment, like the ends of his hair singe as the firebolt flies over his head, and luckily the firebolt kind of arcs and lands in the water and does not catch anything else on fire. All right. Next up is Alok.
Okay. I have a question. Have any of you watched Black Clover? Just wondering. Nope. Damn. Because Cecile
No.
reminds me of a character.
I've heard of
from
it.
that. Anyways, not sure if I'm stealth or not. I'm just gonna pop around and take a shot at the one in the front. Do I have advantage or no? With 11.
Nobody is. I will. The fighter?
Yeah, does it beat his passive perception?
Yeah, I mean, it does. Yes, his
Okay,
wisdom is.
then-
His wisdom and intelligence are very, very low.
Okay.
So yeah, go ahead. 13.
Didn't matter.
A 13 exactly hits.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Roll damage.
I'll take it. Oh, that doesn't have sneak attack. Okay. Hold on.
Is it 2d6?
Ah.
Oh, 1d6.
Oh,
Okay,
rolling
so
low.
6 total damage. I'm doing a new thing.
Pretty
Tell
bad.
me if this looks okay. So 6 damage is gonna pop up like that, where you can see how much damage has been done. Is that cool? Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
It's like a.
It's
a
not
full
showing
bar.
the number for us.
Oh,
It just
really?
shows like a progress bar. It doesn't show the number.
Oh,
Button they've pressed
unfortunate.
to show the number.
Okay. Does that fix anything?
Oh wait. I think I can see the number
Yeah, I
now.
see it
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
very cool. Okay, got it. Awesome.
And then I'll try to hide
Oh,
as a
yeah.
bonus action.
Yeah, go for it. Roll
Rogues.
another stealth.
Oh boy. Oh, there you go.
19. You are invisible. And before you end your turn, can you roll another perception check for me?
Sure.
6. You are just like, in your mind, you're like, oh my god, the first one was a hit. This is nothing like the Red Wraith fight.
I hit
Nothing else is
something. Oh
wrong."
god.
Nothing else is going on right now. Hell yeah. Cool.
Attack.
All right, that'll be Ruby. You may take your first turn. You are coming to in within like the hallway of below deck. Gallet is like in the other room near you. You are able to get up.
Here, your turn to babysit. Someone needs to watch him. I'm gonna go fight. Because where did that thing come from? You know? We can't protect him, and I don't know where that came from, and actually maybe I should try to can I use detect good and evil to see if like potentially what through that thing there? Would that help?
I will say no. The wording
Okay.
of the spell kind of lets you know like what kind of thing it. And you could cast it. It'll let you know if like something like a celestial like through that, or a fiend, or some kind of undead. So if that's something that you want to know, you can do that.
Okay then. Maybe not then. Okay, I'll run up because I want to fight while they're still in the water. How far can I get?
I'll say you can probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can make it like up to where like next to where Alok is.
Okay.
Cool. There you are. Is there anything you want to do with your bonus action, or what action do you want to take once you're there? Or do you want to ready an action?
I'm too far away to do anything. I don't think I can do anything at this point. Can I see
Cool.
them?
Make a perception check.
If I can see them, then I could do Sacred Flame.
An 8. No, you don't see much. You don't. You have just
Okay.
come to. Your head is swimming. Like it's like it feels cloudy and faint and like it's dissipating. You can still feel some kind of wind inside of your body, dragging this like gas out of you. Um, but it is kind of clouding your thoughts and your vision at the moment. That is Ruby's turn. We're gonna go to Gallet.
First, do I make any Constitution saves?
Yes. A 19. Yeah, you're still you can hold your breath for longer than 12 seconds. I'll say you're still holding your breath pretty firmly, but you're like running out because you did use some of it to yell at Aurelius.
Hey, is that thing still emitting that smoke?
It seemed to kind of like by the time you made it to the hallway, it was done actively emitting this like faint gaseous smoking looking thing. And it has dissipated a decent amount. But like so like if you're like hanging out in the hallway, it's not gonna hit a lock or whatever, you know, it would have been diffused enough in order to not have to worry about that. But Gallet still being there where it is, probably would not want to be here still on the next turn.
Okay, well, I was told to watch him, and as a heroic adventurer, I do care about the civilians. So I will valiantly drag him to my room.
He's in the captain's quarters!
Go ahead and just make a strength check for me to see how well you can drag him. A 13. Okay, you are sopping wet. Your shoulder is bleeding, but the adrenaline in your veins from both not having taken a breath in a little while and just everything that's happened, you just burst yourself out of the water with an eldritch blast. And got you know pulled up by your friends. You like heave him up on your shoulders. Just like all the way to Aramis's room. You kind of like quickly kind of just deposit him in the bed, and Ophelia, kind of like still floating, suspended. Like kind of like her face kind of turns to look at you with eyes closed, and you feel a weird mucusy something go around your body. It's like a tiny miniature force field. Your AC is increased by 1.
Thanks. As I shut the door and I hide. Because
Cool.
I'm staying with him. I'm staying with the guy.
Oh, you're okay. You're gonna stay downstairs.
It seems like there's something in the ship that's doing something. So I'm gonna just, like, afterwards shut the door and roll under the bed.
Cool. You're gonna hide inside. Awesome. All right. That is your turn. All right. Here comes the bros. This man is gonna walk right up to Buru. You can tell he kind of like just like stomps up the gangplank, long sword drawn. He swings directly at Buru. Let me roll them. Does a 16 hit?
You're muted.
A 16 would hit. Would my grapple go off first?
Oh yeah, you have a ready to action. Yes, yeah, go ahead.
He can roll a natural 1. It's very possible.
Okay,
I think he has good strength.
I will roll this right here. Actually, okay. I'm not gonna bother. His modifier is gonna be +3, but
Okay.
yeah, that's gonna be it. Okay, so you attempt to grapple him. He kind of like shoves you off and cleaves you with his longsword, dealing 5 damage. That'll be his turn. The cleric is gonna come up behind him, and a respectable distance away, he is going to cast Shield of Faith on the fighter. So
No, I
that's gonna
won't
be what?
No, I'm not gonna hit.
So the fighter, you see like a shimmering field appears around the fighter, and he kind of cracks his neck after having successfully landed a hit after thoroughly embarrassing himself for like a good amount of time, chasing after like a dead fish Aurelius that wasn't actually real. He's embarrassed and he's out for blood, and the cleric knows to get out of his way and just kind of help him do that kind of stuff. So that's gonna be +2 AC to the fighter. And with that, we're gonna come back around. Buru, it is your turn. This guy just walked up to you and broke your grapple, swung a sword at you. What is your move?
You're
You're
muted.
muted.
Muted
So.
again.
I'm gonna dance around him, and I'm gonna take 2 swings at the cleric.
Okay, you have not left this threatened area. Go for it. Roll those attacks. Ooh. Neither of those are gonna hit on this day, at this moment. With that nat 1, I will say you swing at him and he lunges. He kind of dips back, kind of jukes you, and smiles in your face. He looks you dead in the eye and he says, "I thought the Hadzi were supposed to be skilled fighters. Disappointing." Is there anything else
damage.
you're gonna do on your? If he were a bard, is there anything else you wish to do on your turn?
No, I'm all set.
Cool. Suma, that is you.
Alrighty. Can I don't remember what we did last time. Are we using flanking rules here?
Yeah.
In that case, and perhaps I would have done this anyway, I would like to twirl around to the sort of backside of the fighter and strike him while he is busy taunting my companion.
Okay. Go for it.
Nice.
I feel like you're a fencer.
Nat 20. Holy. Yeah. The fighter kind of like looks over. It was the cleric that taunted Buru, but the fighter
okay,
clearly
gotcha.
went over and went, "Nice one."
Yeah.
He,
Distracted.
it is a shame because he was admiring your handiwork earlier so much that it's almost a shame that he didn't get to watch your skilled and fluid movements as you directly like stab him like in the back. So that's a crit. Is that 1d6 for the rape? 1d8 for the rape?
Yeah.
Yeah. Rapier is D8.
D8.
So it
plus 3 is
was
already there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
cool,
this
cool,
is
perfect.
the total thing.
Cool. That's 12 damage.
Yep.
Oh, amazing. Wait, is this good? Is it good? Not quite yet, but almost. You skewer him, and you can see that this staggers him. He kind of like slumps over, and as you pull your rapier out, he coughs up blood onto the gangplank. Is there anything else you are going to do with your turn?
It.
That is it. Cool. All right. I believe that is Alon. Your move.
Okay. Alec will peek around the corner, and now seeing that the positions have changed dramatically, is there a way I can would going over here get rid of any cover that Tazuma would be making there?
I will say that this guy just got stabbed in the back with that nat 20 and is kind of keeled over, he is not paying attention to you if you were aiming for the fighter. So you
Yeah,
would
I'm just
have
making. I'm
two
trying to make
perspectives.
sure that. I'm trying to make sure she's not in the way, so it doesn't add.
Oh yeah, you can move in such a way. If you move like a little more to the right, you'd have a line of sight where you wouldn't have to hit him.
Cool. I'll take a shot. Oh, shit.
my god!
Oh my
this man
god!
was meant to die.
He's not feeling
Okay.
good.
So you've murdered this man. So tell me, where are you aiming?
I guess. Ooh, that's gonna be painful. I guess if he's like, lurched over, I'm gonna try to like right into his spine, like all the way through it, because it's kind of parallel. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you cock an arrow on your short bow back, whips through the air. Suma, like out of the corner of your eye, you can like see it fly past you and like pinpoint B5 lumbar vertebrae. This man,
B5.
yeah, something. Oh, that was Freudian slip.
Nice.
Hits him right in the back, and as he turns, he falls off the gangplank into the water, and he locks eyes with you, Suma. Like after being blindsided twice in a row by attacks he did not see coming, he got well done, and then kind of sinks into the water. Blood is beginning to spread. This man is fully gone.
Oof.
He's
And
out of there.
I'll bonus action dash to here.
Before you do that, make
Okay.
a perception check.
I gotta put myself there.
Six.
Nice.
A 6. Okay, you dash on over there, buddy.
I just killed somebody. Holy shit!
Get out of there. You're like, that's 2 hits in a row. I'm Legolas out here.
Yeah.
How many perception checks you're making us make? I just believe that a giant leviathan is right under the ship, and just no one's seeing it.
It's actually its tentacles are already up above the ship
Yeah,
right now. We
yeah.
just don't see it.
Oh, is that cloud? The sun's no longer out. Oh, that's weird.
No one is.
It's
No one
almost
is
cloud
seeing,
cover.
No one is seeing anything. It is quite tragic. It is very tragic. I don't know whether to be happy or sad about it. But cool. It did not play the whole playlist, and I'm very sad about that. Go ahead. Whose turn is it? It is Ruby's turn, I believe.
Okay. I look back at Aurelius, kind of like, should I stay? He did just heal me. But I really want to fight somebody right now.
Kill him.
So I'm gonna still go.
Okay.
How far can I get?
6 spaces.
In one. Sorry, what?
You can use your bonus action to take. You can use it. Take the dash action to. Sorry, take the dash action to move. Double your movement.
That means I don't get like another action, right?
Yeah, you would have your bonus action still. So if you had something you could cast as a bonus action, you'd be able to do that after using the dash action.
Is that too far, or is that okay?
Yeah, that tracks.
Okay. At this point, can I see him?
See who? The cleric,
cleric.
in front of Guru. Yeah, you can fully see him.
Okay. I'll just do some sacred flame. This guy.
Sacred Flame takes an action to cast, so you would not be able to cast it as a
it has to be a bonus action.
Yeah, it has to be a bonus action.
Okay.
Yeah. No worries.
What can I do with a bonus action that's far? Do I have a weapon that I could throw?
I'd say you're probably just chilling.
Yeah, I feel like I really wanted to be part of this fight, and it's already over by the time I get out of here. That's okay, though.
Sure it is. Cool. Is that the end of your turn?
Should I roll perception as well to see if I see anything?
Sure.
Okay, let's see.
Well, we get something over 15.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah, we're not seeing anything.
I wonder where
Oh,
half the
cool.
boat went. Oh, that's weird. Drafty, really.
Alrighty. We're going down to back down to Gallet.
Alright, so within, like, under the bed, I use my ring.
Okay.
Alice, if you see anyone, cuff them. And I summon an unseen servant. And I
Okay.
give them my manacles that I have in my inventory. And I give them the command, if anyone shows up, cuff them.
Amazing. Okay, got it. He fully summons up. Do you send him outside of the door, or
No, he's right by the door. And
he's just right by the door, kind of ready in action to
ready to cuff.
grapple with chains, manacles, basically. Awesome, perfect, cool. So it is now this guy's dead. The cleric's turn. The cleric is going to dip back out towards the docks to escape. Buru, you may take an attack of opportunity on him. Uh, 10 is not going to do it. You swing at him as he kind of like dips back after watching his partner just get brutally murdered by 2 crits in a row, which would shake anybody, I think. He kind of backs out, and on his way back out, he's going to cast Sacred Flame on Suma.
It's a dex save.
Yes, a dex save. The DC you're trying to beat is that beats it.
Well, I
incredible.
don't think I had advantage though. To be fair, because my advantage
yeah.
was still on from the flanking, so it would be actually 5.
Oh, a 5. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Very honest. Very honest. All right. So that is going to be. Oh, that is the full 8 damage to you.
8. Alrighty.
Cool. That's going to be their turn. We're going back to. Did I miss anybody? Cool. Buru's turn.
I will 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 25 behind him. And
Cool.
2 unarmed strikes. I'd like to use
Mhm.
Key to do another flurry of blows.
Go for it.
Okay.
Cool. The first one misses, the second 2 hit.
Very cool, very cool.
So go ahead and roll damage for those last 2. 7. Holy. Okay. You just come up. Do you say anything to this guy? This guy who dissed you to your face and had to run away crying?
Nope, but I don't want to be lethal about this. I just want him unconscious if
Cool.
he's going down.
You beat him to within an inch of his life. He is still standing, but like clearly like kind of just like kind of swaying from side to side in that death spiral, essentially. 14 damage, incredible. Awesome. Anything else with your turn?
I believe that's all I can do, so I'm all set.
Cool. Suma, your move.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I will go to him and yeah, I'll try to knock him out with the like blunt end of my rapier, just like with the part that I'm holding on his head.
Yes, 16 hits. Don't bother rolling damage because he is gone. He had 1 HP left. Had 15 HP. So you fully knock out this cleric-looking guy. How do you do it? Just real quick. Flop behind him. Pat.
Yeah, I think I try to take advantage of maybe his, Buru's just taken a lot of hits all at once, so I take advantage of his moment of maybe surprise and just, with the part of the rapier that I'm holding in a spot that, maybe I know has a...
Judo chop.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You hit him, and he drops safely onto the dock. He does not roll over onto the water. He just drops. However, as his body lies on the dock, I'm assuming you knocked him unconscious so that you could ask him questions later, or
Preferably.
just to be nice.
I think we have a lot of questions that we would probably like to ask them if we can. So yeah, and my ultimate goal would be to tie him up eventually, initiative pending, but
So as he drops to the ground, Buru and Sumo, you were right there. You watch as the same hook that had clawed Gallet from below the waves comes up, hooks into his side, and yanks him off the dock and into the water.
ooh.
Ruby, you hear footsteps approaching you. No more perception checks needed. This person is announcing themselves to you. You see a Warforged walk up to you. They were kind of hiding, because their hands are very specifically designed to be able to clutch onto things in there are things that are wet, and they were clinging onto the side of the ship, with their hook kind of on the railing. Nobody rolled high enough to see that there's somebody else on the ship because somebody threw that thing. But they kind of repel themselves onto the deck, and you see that it is the Warforged that greeted you, Shao, at the very beginning when you first docked on the gun. He peers down at you, Ruby, because you're the only person in sight for them at the moment. And Shao says, "It is a pity that I would have to stoop to such actions myself. But suppose a lot of you have left me no choice. Ruby, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw."
Oh, man. Oh my god.
Yeah, one. It's a rough rolling day.
Again.
You see Shao,
No.
their hand is like a regular 5-fingered hand. It twists and contorts itself until it looks exactly like a fish hook at the end of his hand, of their arm, and they throw it out towards you, and it sails directly, and then hooks onto your back and the side of you, dealing 4 damage. Now I need you to make either a strength save or a dex save again. So they have just hooked onto you, and they're now going to attempt to yank you back towards them, ripping the hook out. I need you to pick. Oh, okay, cool. A 17 saves. So you were initially taken by surprise as this hook digs into you, but as they try to pull it back, you get your hands around their arm and then pry it out of your back, and you kind of throw it back to them, and it slinks back into their arm. Alok, that is your turn.
Oh shit, already?
Could I get a... Oh, right.
They
Can I
attacked you.
retaliate and do
They attacked you.
but then doesn't
Are we still in the initiative, or
this do something?
We are still in initiative order. Oh, Wrath of the Storm. I believe you can. Remind me what that does. It's like whenever
It's like
somebody
if someone
hits you with an
hits
attack.
Yes.
I believe that's someone within 5 feet of you.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's somebody
it
within
is.
5 feet of you. So they hit you with an extremely long range attack. Like this is like max range for this attack.
Okay.
Yeah. So in
Never mind.
case somebody like comes into melee range, you will be able to use that. Go ahead, Ayla.
okay? Is this like a barrel I can hide behind?
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, I'll try to run up to that, like staying low and try to stealth as my bonus action.
Cool. 12. Got it.
See how that works. And then I'll attack.
Short bow
you
again?
let me know if that. You let me know if that was sufficient stealth.
Let's see. They rolled a nat 1 on perception. They do not know you're there.
Okay. 20.
All right. That definitely hits. Roll damage.
Let's go, A-Lock.
Okay.
I'm hitting my attack.
okay.
That's crazy.
So that's 12 damage.
So I just
In
sneak
right.
up and I just pop over, boop, and then get right back down. That's my turn.
That is 3 hits in a row. The tides are turning.
Actually, I'll move back.
Okay.
I don't know how much I moved. I'll go to there.
All right. Awesome. I believe that is now Ruby. Your turn.
Okay. I want to ask this guy, why are you after us? And then, is it possible to do command and then force him like and be like answer?
Make an insight check for me.
Okay. Did not mean to do that.
With an 18 insight, you do not feel as if this is a creature that would be susceptible to that kind of magic.
Okay.
But you do ask them. You just ask them, why are you doing this? What was the exact phrasing?
No, it's why are you after us kind of a thing.
Simply, you are collateral damage. All of this
Okay.
is. Yeah. Do you do anything else with your turn? You didn't take up your action by like asking to cast a spell. So you're.
Okay. And I want to move closer to him.
1, 2. Yep. Okay. Right
I
up in the middle of
want
things.
to cast. Yeah. No personal space for this guy. I want to cast Thunderwave.
Go for it.
Just okay. How do I do that thing again? Where I? Yeah, level 1. Okay.
Cool. A DC 12 con save. So this guy does have a +1 to con. So I'm gonna roll that on the open. That's a 5. Go ahead, and that's 8 damage.
I think so. So it's
Cool.
a. See, yeah, 2d8 is
2d8
the way I
damage, and
rolled,
they're pushed 10 feet away, right?
Yes.
Cool. So you use Thunderwave. This blast of energy pulses out from you, and it hits him. They are not able to resist this. They are pushed back, and they fly over the railing of the ship. They're gonna make a dexterity saving throw. An 11. That's not gonna cut it. They fall into the water. And they're gonna have to spend a lot of movement and their action getting back up onto the ship. Cool. Is that the end of your turn? Gallup, it is your turn. You hear footsteps on the other side of the door. Wet footsteps.
Hey,
Like the sloshing
Oh my gosh.
of wet feet, like wet boots on the planks of the ship. Something it's like not moving towards your door, but you can tell it is moving to the opposite door, into Valaire's quarters. And finding that, like, after a moment of silence, you hear a loud crash, and a hook crashes through the door of Aramis's quarters where you are, and like the hook and like goes against the door, and like your unseen servant is like kind of unfazed, like manacles at the ready. And this thing kind of yanks at the door, cracking it a little bit. It has not made it into the room, and it's not taken this door down, but you are aware that it's there. Cool. It is your turn. What do you do?
So, how broken is the door? Could a pair of manacles go through the door?
There is like the hook is like this big. It's like the size of if somebody's hand was a hook. So it's like that. So there's like a hole around this big.
You know, okay, so can I order him to just manacle the hook to the doorknob? So he's just carrying a door.
Sure. Yeah. We're gonna have roll, I guess, sleight of hand for your unseen servant, but we'll say we're gonna use your stats for it. A 10. I'm gonna say the manacle like gets on there, but kind of not in a way like it's like it doesn't make it all the way up. It kind of like you can tell that the moment this thing like moves or jerks unexpectedly, it could probably like slip out of it and like break through. But you can still take your action, take your movement. You are kind of enclosed in this room.
I'm under the bed.
Aurelius behind you. You're under the bed.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm under the. So I would like to hold my action, and I'm just gonna
Okay.
shoot him with my Eldritch Blast as soon as he comes in.
Excellent. Cool. Ready to action Eldritch Blast. Cool. We're gonna go back up to the top. Buru. You have like you were present. You watched Shal hook Ruby, pull her, like attempt to pull her back, failed to do so, and you watched Ruby blow them off the ship and into the water. What are you gonna do with your action?
Was Shao also the person that pulled the person we knocked out off of the gangplanks? Or was that coming from the water?
Make an insight check. Or I guess, or that'll do. Yes. You can tell that like they were the ones who did that, pulled the cleric into the water, and then like from like where they were from like the water, and then climbed up the side of the ship. These warforged are built for speed on water specifically. So when they are in the water, the amount of things that they can do and how they can do them is vastly increased. Yeah. What do you do?
Can I see the cleric? Like, how deep is he?
He is I will say like he was pulled down a decent amount, and you cannot see his body anymore currently. But probably if you were in the water, you'd be able to see where the body ended up.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna dive in, take a look
Oh,
around.
yeah.
Do I need a
Cool.
perception check?
Yeah, go for it.
Oof.
Nat 1. The ocean is deep, dark, and mysterious. It is an endless expanse of blue and like fish swimming around, and a piece of seaweed fully wraps around your eyes several times before you're able to uncoil it. There's not much that you can see at this current moment. But
Okay.
I will say that you still have your full, movement. You still have an action. You use some of your movement to dive down, but you could still move. But you are in water, so it would be your swimming speed, not your normal speed.
Right. I think I'm gonna spend the rest of my turn just looking for this guy, see if I can get him next round.
Cool. I will say, with that, I'm gonna say you kind of like swim around. You stay put, like in the kind of the area of where you think that this person might have been dragged down to. But this will give you advantage on that perception check next round.
Groovy.
Cool. Suma, that is you.
Okay. Cool. I've got a nice fashionable trickle of blood on my face. I hurt very badly. Can I see Shao from here?
Go ahead. You know what? You saw where they fell, and you can see like their live body kind of like in the water, the shadow of it. They didn't go very deep. So you can
If
see that
I
they're around where they are.
okay, if I can, I would like to try to send a firebolt. It's 120 feet, so as long as I can see where they are. I'll try to do that. Hope I don't set the boat on fire.
An 8.
Yeah.
An 8 is not gonna do it. They are in water, so it is kind of hard. I would say that you aim it in the general area, but like it kind of hits the water first and kind of dissipates.
Okay.
But Shao kind of dives down as
Cool,
it
cool,
comes
cool.
in.
Okay.
Did you use your movement?
Yeah, I'm gonna use my movement then to just gonna run over here, far, far away from his scary hook. And yep, I think that's it for now.
All right. Alok, that is you.
Cool. I see no immediate threat, so I'll run up ahead, I guess, to Ruby here. I need somewhere to hide though. Where I just moved 45. I'll bonus action dash to here. Wait. I'll use all my movement to get to there. There you go. And that is the end of my turn.
Cool. Awesome. All right. That is going to be Shao's turn. The movement speed of these Warforged in the water is severely heightened. They're going to snake around the side of this boat and then pop up here. I will say, out of a desire to exact revenge, for what you just did to them, Ruby, they're gonna make another attack. The same hook attack. But they miss very badly. No dex save required. The hook goes out, sails over your head, as you are much shorter than perhaps they had calculated, and it like whips back, having hooked onto nothing. It is your turn again, Ruby.
Okay. I will do Sacred Flame then.
Cool. That's a dex save, I believe.
Yes.
What is the DC for that? Oh, there you go.
Oh.
DC 12. Okay. Roll that.
Shall we dance, Shall? You ready?
That hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
That is.
You can just type roll 1d8.
Oh. I'm trying to find out what damage was.
Cool. All right. Add that on there. Some damage done. You can see this thing is starting to look damaged. It doesn't look like it's at critical health, but you can see as the flame, like as the light kind of descends upon it, it staggers a little bit and is a little bit slower to rise up to its full posture than it was beforehand. Are you gonna take any movement? Or you gonna stay put?
Yeah, I'll move a little closer to him, like there.
Cool. Alrighty then. It is going to be the other Warforged turn, the one that had originally gone after Gallup in the water. They on a 19, they rip their hook out of the door, and the door comes off the hinges. Make a stealth check for me, Gallup. An 8. Oh, it wouldn't matter. They come into range and you immediately hit them with Eldritch Blast.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Now let's see if this hits. This is important. Yes.
Okay, that definitely hits. Go ahead and roll 7 damage. Cool. And that cold damage is actually going to do double damage. So that is going to
We
be...
take those?
We take those. We take those. I mean, 9 damage total to this guy. Cool. Then it is your turn again. They kind of like rip the door down, come forward, raise their hook, boom, immediately rebuffed by the Eldritch Blast and like stagger backwards.
He's still pretty scary, so I'm staying under the bed. But,
Okay.
But first, I'm going to just bonus action. Hey, let's just try it again. Just try to get his foot. Like, try to get one of his feet at least.
Of course. They still have the manacles, so they're going to let me just... Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and roll another. Give another roll for Alice, I guess.
11.
An 11. I will say, they thought of what they needed to do the moment this thing came to the door, and they went, "Hi!" And then Eldritch Blast hit, and they kind of like, "Oh, now he is outside of my range. What do I do, master?" Cool. What will you do with your full action? Because the Eldritch Blast was a previous ready action.
Pew. No.
Blast him again.
10.
A 10 is not gonna do it. They stumble backwards. You fire off another blast, and it kind of sails like behind their head. Blasts a small hole across the room in Valera's Ruby's room. Yes.
Just one more thing. Help! 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 And
Okay, I'm gonna say you all, especially you, Alok and Suma, you had just heard like 5 minutes ago, what Gallup sounds like when he's panicking, when he has been flung into the air. You know that voice. You know that sound. Your boy's in trouble. The captain is in trouble.
Your captain.
Yeah, everybody knows what that sounds like. So, go ahead. We go back to the top. That is Buru's turn. Go ahead and make that perception check with advantage.
Absolutely.
Got this. It's all leading up to here. You hear the triumphant music, don't you? It's been building up. People.
Oh my
Hey.
god. Now hearing things in his manic state.
Nice.
You can see at like the bottom of one of of this dock, there's a small like crusted over section of coral, and the cleric's body is like caught on this coral, kind of like hooking onto his clothes, and like you can see like they're unconscious, like bubbles like coming up. I rolled death saves for him. He's good. He is stable, but he is drowning actively. So you can go ahead and go down there. Are you gonna swim down there?
I am.
Okay.
I'm gonna drink a potion of minor healing. I think that's just the 1d4 plus water breathing.
Yes, it does give you water breathing. So you
Oh, dang.
very quickly roll that d4. That's a 3.
And then it takes an action to feed a potion to somebody, right?
Yes, it does. Yes. But you were gonna drink the potion, or you are?
Yeah, I was
gonna-
drinking one for me, but I have 2. How far am I from the surface?
You really
I
really
would
want to
say-
use one on that guy?
I would say, like he's kind of like 15 feet down, so you swim down to him. You would have to use your full swimming down movement in order to reach him where he is. I'm just gonna make him visible again. So you go down to him. I can say that you can like have, as a bonus action, like have the potion ready to the moment it's your turn again, like feed it to him immediately.
Yeah, I think I'd like to do that.
Cool. So Buru has now found the poor cleric. Although he was kind of a dick to you, honestly. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, props to you for wanting to help him. Sumba, that is your turn.
Okay. I've heard my captain's plea for help. So
A command
As
for
my-
assistance.
as my bonus action, I'm going to cast Expeditious Retreat, which I will use my 40 feet of movement, 5, 10, 15, 40, to go here.
Awesome.
I will make a shocking grasp attack against Mr. Dude. Oops, that's not what I want. Is this a spell attack? I don't know.
A 17
is.
hits. A 17 fully hits.
Sweet.
Go ahead and and they can't take reactions. 8 damage, the full D8. Cool. You reach out your hand, you dash over to him, reach out your hand, like sparks shoot across their body, and you can tell that, and you have actually, I would say you would have had advantage, but it doesn't matter. You shock them, and they're momentarily, it's like their circuits have like briefly overloaded. They're unable to take reactions on their turn.
Sweet.
Incredible. Let me add that damage.
And then, since the movement was from my bonus action, I will use my actual movement to go down as far as I can into the belly of the ship where I heard Gallet. So I'll scoot past him 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And then I don't really know where. Is this just like sort of an X-ray, like cross-section
Yeah, I would
vision
say,
of like where they are-ish?
Yeah, I would say this is a close enough representation of where they are for our purposes here.
Okay, sweet.
On your next turn, you'll be able to take your movement to get to where this is happening down there.
Will do. So I'll just
yeah,
be heading
and-
down in there.
Cool. Shao cannot take a reaction to opportunity attack because you shocking pressed them. It is their turn now. I don't understand why it has to be so complicated. They see you going downstairs, Suma, and they are going to make a hook attack at you. A 19 hits. You take minimum damage, just 2 damage. I'm going to need a strength or dex save from you, whichever you
Okay.
like. And I believe
Well,
the Blade Song gives you advantage on dex save throws, or no?
no, but I do get advantage I get a bonus to my concentration check for Expeditious Retreat. But so dex save first. He's only a 10.
I thought I did. I will actually let you. Hold on, let me see.
It helps with acrobatics.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Checks.
I will let you if you want. So they're attempting essentially to yank you back to keep you
Mhm.
from moving forward. A way of dispersing the force in the tension of a rope is to suddenly decrease like the tension by increasing the slack. So if you like were able to like acrobatically move back into it, it would not be able to like have as much pull on you. So I will allow you to make an acrobatics check to try and avoid this from occurring.
Sure, I'll take it.
DC
Let's see.
15.
Okay.
That'll do it. So, they attempt to yank you back, and you kind of like, twirl, lean into it, and in flipping around, the hook comes out of your body, and you land. However, it is going to move you back
Okay.
this much towards them. But no additional damage necessary.
Okay.
And that'll be Ruby. That is your turn.
I will hit him with my warhammer. Am I close enough to do that,
Alright.
or do I need to move closer?
You just need to get up to him, like right in front of him. Like melee range.
I don't know if it's gonna matter, but I go before
Mm.
Ruby. But
Oh, my bad. Alok,
it may not matter, so it's fine.
Sorry, my bad. Go
Hey.
for it. Sorry, that's my fault.
You can let her do her thing. I'm gonna be going down anyway. So.
Okay, cool.
You go down.
Yeah, no, go
Okay.
down first. Go down first.
Okay. Before going down, I'll bonus action hide.
Cool. 20. You
Decent.
were a shadow. You were a whisper of
and
0.
yeah, no one. I'll go down a bit. I don't want to get like close to it. I'll just get to where I can see it, like maybe at the stairs.
Gotcha.
And I'll take a shot at him.
Oh.
20 to hit.
Nice.
Insane. Go ahead and roll
Well, it's not
damage.
natural, 20, but yeah.
That is 12 damage. Incredible. Okay.
And I'll move back up.
12.
You got this, Gallet.
Yeah, Gallet, as you're cowering beneath the bed, this thing lumbers forward towards you, and chink, an arrow comes, like right in the side of its head, and like turns.
It's still alive.
But it does now, like look towards that way, no longer sees you, and then turns back to Gallet.
And now Ruby can do her thing.
Yeah, Ruby does you.
Okay. Wait, sorry, I
That
need
is-
to roll.
That
That was like for damage.
That's the roll.
The roll, it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it,
Yeah.
okay.
So you swing with your warhammer attack, and shall nimbly dodge that way. Is there anything you're gonna do with your bonus action or your movement? You can break up your movement.
Maybe.
If you move though,
No, it's
they
okay.
will get. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay, I'll just stay where I am. Yeah.
Cool. All right, it is now Deep's turn. They are going to walk into the room. I remember that stealth roll was pretty low, and also you just shot
Yeah,
2
he
other
knows.
spots at him.
I
So
shot at him
yeah.
and I'm screaming.
Fully aware of where you are. However, they do not aim for you.
Uh-oh.
They aim for Aurelius.
No.
Roll for this. That is going to hit. Their hook comes out, pierces Aurelius in the stomach, and yanks him off the bed onto the ground in front of you. That is
Oh my
their
God.
turn. Gallant, your move. You just watched this unfold before your eyes.
Buddy! Ophelia, you got the healing duty! And I'll roll away from the bed, and I'll try to shoot him with my Eldritch Blast. Please
Cool.
die! a 15 hit?
15 exactly hits. Go ahead and roll
Nice.
damage.
Nice. That would be like a
Uh,
6.
That is a 6.
And
Um,
my
yeah.
bonus action, I'm going to order Alice, my friend. Look, the manacles not working, not working. Grab a blanket, throw it on him, blind him.
Okay. I will say, as you blast this Warforged, who is just like has his hook stuck into Aurelius, as you blast them back, Alisirius, your unseen servant, kind of grabs a blanket off the bed, kind of right over their face. They are blinded.
Okay, and I'll
Um,
use the rest of my movement to just be right above Aurelius's body. I'll take out my one remaining dagger. Don't worry, I got you.
Awesome. Excellent. Cool. We're gonna go back to the top of the order. That is Buru's turn. Buru, immediately you feed this guy the potion.
Yes, sir, I do. I'm gonna
All right.
grab his face and motion for him to follow me upwards.
Yeah, you pour the liquid into his mouth, like you cram it in there because you're both underwater. And his eyes flutter open, and like he's kind of like confused in a daze, looks at you, realizes you're helping him for some reason, and then he allows you to like carry him up. You both swim up onto the dock or onto the gang. Actually, you'd have to be on the dock.
Yeah.
Here. Cool. I want to say swimming up with someone in tow will probably be all of your movement.
Okay.
And you use your action in order to feed him the potion. Bonus action, is there anything you can do, or?
What does bullshit Step of the Wind do? Let me double check. Because
You can take a bonus action to maybe like, there's lots of ropes around. You could use it to tie this guy up to make sure he doesn't go anywhere.
yeah. I'll do that, I guess.
Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check for me.
If I can find it. There we go.
17. This person, like their face is still battered and bruised from when you had punched him twice in the face, like this part, and then Sumo from behind conked him this way. And like his head is just an ocean of pain right now. And you were able to like secure him fast to like a nearby pole. So he is stationary there. Yeah, and he'll be there once the fight is over. Cool. Suma, you have been yanked back a little bit from where you had initially been. Where do you go from here? You're muted.
Since he wants to play it up close, I will oblige him. I will get up in his face and I will cast Burning Hands. At the sort angled sort of that he's the side of the cone so it doesn't hit Ruby.
Cool.
And that would be a dex save for him.
What is the DC?
13.
13. Okay. When he's not on water, his dex is only +1. So I'll roll that right here for everybody. He does not save. Go ahead and roll
Sweet.
Okay. 8 damage will actually be doubled to 16. Fire is super effective against things made of wood. You use Burning Hands. How do you finish this guy off?
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna reach out my hand and almost like gently cup his face and make that the center point of
just
the cone.
incredible. You put your hands on their face, like fry it. The wood is like smoldering
Oh
and
my
burning
God.
away, and like you kind of hear, and then he slumps backwards, onto the ship.
I think I fall as he falls. I also fall to my knees a little bit, and I don't use any of my movement or anything. I just stay there for the rest of my turn.
Incredible. Shal is now out of the picture. Alok, you know something is going down with Gallet downstairs. You are safe for the moment, but you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I'll just peek around and see what's going on and take a deep breath. I would turn the corner, throw my bow to the side, pull out my rapier, and I'm gonna dash up and try to get in flanking with it.
Oh yeah.
And I'll take a stab with my rapier.
He does not miss. He doesn't miss.
He doesn't
Incredible.
miss it. It's crazy.
Go ahead and roll damage. That is 12 damage.
A lot of 12.
Okay. That is gonna do it. How do you finish this guy off?
Wow. Again. Like I said, he just throws his bow to the side and just throws caution to the wind, unlike him. And he just goes by and dashes up and boop, stabs right through it. It doesn't really look.
I just see a
This
blade
war
pointed from
forge.
his chest.
Yeah,
he has no idea where he's aiming at.
blade. Yeah, blade comes through his chest. Arrow in the side of its head. It turns towards you. Error, and then like, hits the deck. As you were there, though, Alok, you do see Aurelius bleeding out onto the floor. We are going to cut away from this scene really quick. That'll be. We're out of initiative order now. Combat has come to an end. Both of these Warforged have been taken out of the picture. Ruby, you are next to Suma. You both can see Buru on the docks with the cleric tied up to this post. He has been saved. He's chilling. Perhaps there'll be a time to ask him some questions. What do you guys do? Do you immediately head down, or I believe Suma is aware that something was happening downstairs, but maybe Ruby, you have not clocked that yet.
I would, as soon as I could, immediately get down to the ground, from my satchel pull out a healer's kit, and just lay everything out, get ready to suture. Don't worry, it's just late stage scurvy, and try to sew him up.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Yeah. Make a check. Roll a check for me.
Okay, is this healer's kit basically say you don't need to roll a check, or is this so bad that you would need to roll one?
It's pretty bad.
Okay. Don't worry.
It's pretty bad.
Don't worry. I am the doctor of the ship, so I will roll high. It's just scurvy.
A 15. You were able to stabilize the bleeding somewhat. You were able to kind of patch him up. There is he is still like bleeding, but you seem to have stemmed it somewhat. However, he is essentially unresponsive. Buru is now going to you pick him up onto your shoulder probably, and carry him back onto the ship basically. He does not make a big show of trying to resist you. I think he understands that he has been defeated and tied up, and this is could have been worse. He could have died. So you go ahead and you begin to take him down to the animal hold. Suma and Ruby, what are you up to?
I would turn to Ruby and say, I heard Gallet calling for help. We should check on them. And
Okay.
I'll slowly, gingerly get up and start making my way down there.
I also want to
so
congratulate Suma. Be like, dude, that was sick. Is it safe to high five you, or will I get burned? I don't know.
Just a little bit of smoke. That's all.
Okay.
Uh,
I help her get up, and then we start running downstairs.
Cool. Okay, so we are out of combat, so I'm gonna. Does that work? Cool, it does. We were out of combat. You guys are gonna rush downstairs. Obviously you can probably hear like the commotion of Gala trying to like heal this man as he bleeds out on the floor. You all get down there and you see just a mess of blood on the floor of Aramis's old quarters. Alisarius is on the ground. Gallet standing like crouching over him with the healer's kit, attempting to stop the bleeding. Alok is against the wall, just head in hands, like it's a mess down here. You have to step over this warforged automaton corpse in order to get into Aramis's room. And you see Aurelius is gone.
No.
His breathing completely stops. I've been rolling death saves for him. And I even gave him after that medicine check like an extra like save. But
Is it too late to spare the dying? Cantrip?
that would be if he was still making death saves.
Hmm.
Um I'm gonna do something strange here really quick. I know it's at the end of the session and it's kind of weird, but can I have everybody but Alok deafen this call for a bit? Okay, we're all back. You are sitting there, and it's almost as if like time skipped a beat. Um, one moment things were one way, and another moment things were a different way. Like if you blink, it's like the room has shifted somehow. Something has changed in the air, and Aurelius draws a breath. The bleeding has stopped. He's still in poor condition, but he's no longer dead. Um, he looks around. He looks up at you, Gallet, the closest person to him, and he says, "What happened?
I got rid of the scurvy.
I had scurvy.
Yeah, I got you. Don't worry.
Okay. Um, I am the prediction guy, and it is crazy how little I have foreseen of today's events.
It's
Um, he's in a bit of a little delirium right now. He is not doing great. But you all help him back up to the bed. You are now aware that somebody has come. These Warforged have come to kill Aurelius. What do you do with that information? Where do you go from here?
Well, we don't exactly know if it's all of them, since if it was all of them, the whole nation could have just attacked us, and there is literally no way we could defend.
True.
So it seems like they may have been these specific ones that were attacking were working with the Gallon Republic due to the fact that they all attacked at the same time. We could probably
Why would
try-
they? Why would they attack them? Because Warforged is like, what are they motivated by?
we could
Did
ask the
we
guy.
get a lowdown on the rules of the island? Is there a no fighting allowed thing? Are they strictly enforced?
Make a history check for me.
Okay.
17. Okay. At some point, maybe in your readings, or maybe you heard some people gossiping about it on the Reaper. It was mentioned that there are not too many rules in Lagan. One of them is that no fire. That's a pretty big one. No fire or an island made of wood. The punishment for that is being sent to the death's row. Not death row, the death's row. The punishment for this is you are essentially enslaved as a prisoner and become part of the force that underneath the island work the oars that keep it moving. They don't typically do executions, but it's not unheard of for particularly grievous offenses.
Well, thank God no one uses fire. Whew.
That would have been great to know.
I had to
Yeah,
assume,
no fire.
It's a wooded island, to be fair.
Although they were attacking us before I used fire, so
They were attacking you before you use fire, 100%. Yeah, is there anything you guys want to check out or do? Investigate anything?
I
We can
mean,
go back to them.
we should check the bodies, and then we should probably ask the guy that's alive
Hmm.
what's up. But first, the guy that killed for a short period Ophelius or dang it, these names keep on getting me. Darn
Yeah,
you
I'm so
elves.
I regret it personally. There's like 3 people with A names, and I'm like, okay, no more A names for
Aurelius,
the
alright.
rest. Forever.
Are they carrying anything like a walkie-talkie? I don't know. They're warforged.
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
You're gonna get investigated so well. If I can find
Anyone can give the help action as well. Or okay, cool. A 15 does it. They don't seem to carry very many things, but you do find like this strangely shaped wooden key. At least to your eyes, it looks like it's the vague shape of a key, but it wouldn't fit in any kind of like doorknob you've ever seen. It's like very intricate. There's like things carved into it, and like all these runes and stuff in it. And you can also see that they are wearing kind of like a belt holster type thing. And there's general things like fish hooks and like this like kind of like wax that they coat with themselves in order to make them faster underwater.
I'll take
But
that
you
wax.
notice
I'll take that
that there's
wax.
this like circular holster built into this belt that is empty.
That's anyone seen any orb objects?
Could it be the circle thing he tossed at me?
Yeah. Ruby, you mentioned that, and you guys rush over to Valaire's room. The smoke here has already dissipated. You can't see it anymore. The wind, a lot of stuff has happened. Wreckage and spells flying around. The wind coming through the holes in the ship and the window. It is completely dissipated out of this room. You are safe. However, you do find the bits and pieces of that orb kind of scattered around. Like against the wall, like that it impacted. You're it just looks like scraps at the moment. But someone can investigate it.
Is
Whoever
I can take a look
has the
at it.
highest one. Yeah. Roll Arcana actually for me.
Yeah.
17. So you kind of like piece together parts of this orb, and you see that there is a pattern of runes going around the sphere. And you are able to recognize this as a minor rune of preservation. This is a very common like enchantment that is put on things. It essentially whatever is it's inside of this will be preserved in the state that it's in unless the seal is broken, essentially. So you know that more intricate or heavy uses of the spell might be able to keep a bunch of bread from going stale or an ice cube from melting inside of it. It will retain whatever properties it has when it's essentially activated.
Does it seem like, I mean, I assume the seal broke when it released the gas, but does it look like it could be fixed or reused in any way?
It's with that 17, I will say you can intuit that it's like um once the seal is broken, it's kind of done for. It's like a one time. Like, okay, like you turn it on, and once you turn it off, it's gone.
Gotcha. Well, I'll let
Um,
everyone know its properties.
Well, if we were looking for another clue, that would be we could go to maybe wherever a Warforged would be able to even get an item like this. I assume it's not a common enchantment that anyone can get, or maybe people can because it's for food as well. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I'm new to magic.
Would I have any inkling of that?
yeah, it's a pretty common enchantment. Um, no idea what. I will say at this point, you are aware of the magical nature of what had happened. Something was preserved inside this orb. It broke, and that thing was released in the state that it was preserved in into the room. That is what you know.
Hey, Sumi,
Yeah.
it smelled horrible in here. Would that help? Like this orb, like you smelled it too, Ruby. It was like, ugh, you know?
It seems like, and I could be wrong, but whatever toxic substance they were trying to affect you all with was what was sealed inside the orb. It's since dissipated now because it's not preserved anymore, but a concentrated bead of poisonous smoke exploded in the room and left the shards of the orb behind.
Unfortunate. But
I have detect poison, but I didn't prepare for it today, so I can't use it.
Valid.
by the way, while we have this moment, I just want to say, hey, Alok, thanks for coming to my assistance back there. These guys are pretty big.
He just keeps staring at the ground and just, yeah, you're welcome.
You did good. All right.
Stares off.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank thank you. We should probably ask the guy that's Buru put up some questions. Or Buru, do you want to ask him questions? It's your prisoner. I don't know how prisoner rules work.
I've only got personal questions for him.
Cool.
So, if you guys have questions.
Okay. I'm gonna say, it is almost 11, which has been our usual stopping time, but it has been a week since we played. So if we want to take 15 and resolve this interaction as well, we can do that tonight, or we can wait until next week to do some interrogation. It is up to y'all.
I can keep going for a little bit.
Cool. Just wanted to check in. All right, cool. So you all go into the hold, and you see that this Galenian cleric is tied up with rope extremely tight, and the full brunt of the armored snail's weight is directly on his back, keeping him from moving whatsoever. He's like, please, I can feel its spit is acidic, I'm pretty sure, and it's kind of burning my. This is a really nice set of robes, so
You get used to it.
could, that seems fair. What questions do you have for this guy?
Wait, can we bring Aurelius? Like, he's good at seeing if people are lying or not, right?
He is alive, but not in awesome condition.
Don't
I will
worry,
be real with you.
I'll ask if someone else can help us with this. So, Snail.
Yes.
You ever heard of good cop, bad cop?
What
my
is a
God.
cop?
Okay, so
Is it a kind of armor?
Yes, it's an armor for.
Then I would like the good cop to wear upon my back. Armor is kind of my thing.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. Well, okay, I'll sit on your back, and then you be bad cop. And we're just
Sit
gonna.
on my back?
Yeah, well, I'm the armor.
Only the one that feeds me is allowed to sit on my back.
Well, am I the armor?
Hmm.
I'm listening to what you say. Snail, you want this. You want this.
I do a little bit.
Yes. So
Okay.
Okay, so here what we're gonna do. I sit on him. Alright, so I'm gonna ask this guy questions. And each time I ask a question, if I'm a little bit iffy on the answer, you just nibble into him a little bit. Just a little bit.
I was going to do that regardless.
Okay,
But now there's
more
little bit of
there's more excitement.
yeah.
There's more
Yes.
direction here. I like this.
I am enticed.
Yes, okay.
I feel as if I have just found a new piece of armor to
Exactly.
wear.
Friendship. That's the
Yes.
strongest armor.
What is that?
It's
Is
my
that like armor for your heart?
Yes, and it can't be penetrated.
I fuck with that. Let's do it.
Alright. I'll slap the guy. Tell us what we want to know.
No. Bold of you to assume that I know what you want to know.
Why were you looking after Aurelius?
Aurelius Wince here is a valuable asset to the Gallan Republic. All right. The Storm King wished to have him in his court, and I do as the Storm King commands.
Fair enough. Why were you working with the Warforged? Another slap.
These
These are really weak slaps, by the way. I got 8 in strength. Like, they're like,
Right.
Wait,
No.
so
he's
are you still
fully
good
not...
cop though?
Yeah. Are you?
I'm confused.
No. The snail is
The
a good
snail
cop.
is confusing me as well, so we're just both bad cops.
I am the best cop.
And I'm an alright one.
I will consume every scrap of cop there is to consume, from the mountains of Pelea to the forests of the Gallan Republic. And I will have... Cop is still armor, right? Do I have that correct?
Yeah.
This is a new word for me.
Yeah. You cop the
excellent.
cop.
I don't retract any statement I just made. It was awesome. So this guy, the cleric on the ground, his name is Justine, by the way. Um, uh, he is fully not hurt by these slaps. He's just very dramatic. Repeat the question.
Well, Justine, I want to know why you're working with the Warforged.
Working is we were coming to a mutually beneficial agreement. They wanted Aurelius off of the island, and we wanted him in Palestrom.
Why is that
It's
nibble?
not that complicated.
Give me more deets. Why they
What
want
is
him?
a deet? Is that a kind of helmet?
Yes, it's a very small one.
Give him more deets! Justine fully does not comprehend what the snail. He
Oh,
just
yeah.
hears like gurgling. Everyone only hears gurgling.
I sound relatively crazy.
Yeah. People are just looking at you like when Harry Potter speaks Parseltongue. It's kind of like that. What kind of details could you possibly need other than
Why do you want?
ow?
Why do they want him off the island?
I don't know. It's not my business to know what robots want to do on their island.
Oh wait,
They can do what they wish.
I don't know about that. I don't know about. I can't stop this snail. This snail is really. He
Oh.
wants to cop that cop. You gotta give me something
Yes.
more.
How
Yeah.
Go on.
how did you know that they'd be interested in getting him off the island? You know, like did you just overhear them? They were like, "We need to get rid of this guy," or like, you know, how would you even know that?
You see, we I don't know too much about it. To be honest, I'm a pretty low-level type of dude. Which
Figured.
probably explains why there is a snail on my back who has the mass of 1,000 suns. Were I a little higher up, perhaps I would not be in this current predicament. To my knowledge, Lagan and Galen have been doing favors for each other for quite some time now. I don't know exactly how it started or why or who reached out to whom, but favors have been exchanged, and this was to be sort of the ribbon on the entire thing, the final exchange. We both wanted Aurelius somewhere else. That's what we tried to do.
Another question.
Um,
Oh, you go on. Go on.
how is the wait? So for the government of Lagan, like, how does that work? Is it like a democracy? Is there like a monarch?
Look, I don't know much about robot governments. Listen, all I understand is that there are a couple of them who are made different than the others, and they hold the most authority on the island. They call them the Mark Ones. Go ahead and make a history check. Anybody who feels like they might know something about Warforged or Lagan. A 19. Okay.
Yes.
9. Alok, you
There's
are
no
so
doubt.
concerned with like stuff that's going on in your head right now that
Yeah,
even if you did know it, you don't know it anymore in this moment.
Yeah.
Buru, you are aware with a 19 history check that the Warforged, being specifically created to make war, were built for the purpose, the express purpose of killing or defeating the Kraken. It is the reason why they're all built to be waterproof and fast underwater. It is why they don't need to breathe and don't need to have a mouth to talk. They were built for the express purpose of killing the Kraken, or at least sending it into hibernation. There were several different iterations of the Warforged built in this effort because it's a lot harder for people to dive underneath. We need to, cast spells and stuff, which is hard when there's water rushing down your esophagus. So the Mark ones were kind of the first attempt, and they're the most like intelligent and developed ones, and probably why they would be the leaders of this place. Mark twos are on a similar amount of like they're also intelligent and they can have personalities, but not to as developed. They're a little more eccentric. Tink Tinkerton is a Mark II. Shal as well was a Mark II. You know that there were successive versions created, but maybe you don't know as much about those because people don't talk about those as the ones that have like personalities.
Okay. I relay this to the rest of the group.
All right, may I ask my question now? Ruby, you good?
Uh,
How much money you got on your boat? Slap. He's moving more than he's struggling from the slaps.
He looks at you. That was a good slap.
Yeah.
Very dramatic. The snail's like, do it again. He goes, not much. There's perhaps only 200 gold on that. Is that a lot for you? You look poor.
We're working on it, man.
Like you seem like you have a poor or like I smell mostly mucus, right? But I can smell
It's
the
still
poor
on me.
you.
Oh my. This is from the frog. It's a whole story. I'll tell you it later. But 200
Yeah.
gold, that's 300 away from getting enough for the boat. We should rob them.
That was before we got into another fight.
And we could
Maybe
sell the boat.
more.
Uh,
You mean
We can
this
take the
boat?
boat.
No, we could sell their boat because they're not using it.
Yeah, I guess. Hey, wait,
Ma-
Justine.
Sure.
yes. What?
I get real
What
close
more?
to him.
Oh, so this is how we're humiliating me this time. Okay,
I
yes,
get
proceed.
real close to him. I like the cut of your jib, and you seem like a fan of theater. Renounce your nationalist sense and join our crew, and we'll let you go. So you may join our crew on your own terms.
You must not be well versed in theater and the dramatic arts. It is always more appropriate to die than to switch your religions.
I'm into
Far more
comedies.
dramatic that
I'm
way.
not really that. I'm not into the Shakespearean tragedies. I like more of everyone living and haha, like a good guffaw. Do you want to guffaw?
I could use
Buru starts chuckling.
thaumaturgy
You use thaumaturgy to do what?
to have it look to make it look like he's using fire in front of Warforges, so then he is sentenced to death's row. You're not allowed to use fire.
That is a true tragedy. Yeah, no, that would be a way more tragic, sad ending.
He gets a little bit quiet and he says, I wish to have a little more fun before it ended for me. I'm very well aware that there's not a lot of ways to get out of this situation with either my personality and like my beliefs and core tenets as a person intact, um, other than dying. So the moment that I felt these ropes bind me, I understood what was to come. I've accepted it. I would say that I feel anger, but it's more regret.
I walked to Buru. I can't kill this guy. He's too cool. He was so ready to die. And now it feels like this would be actual murder.
I have things that I would like to speak about privately with him if you would hold off on deciding whether or not to murder him, just for tonight.
Do you,
I will say one more thing to the rest of you, and then I will hold audience with the men who pulled me out of the water. If I were the lot of you, and Aurelius is still alive, I would bring him to Palestrom and surrender him to the Storm King. The Storm King is the only one who can save us from what is to come.
what's that?
And he falls silent.
So dramatic. You're not even good. Bad
That's his
cop.
first. That's who
Bad
this guy
cop.
is.
Nibble.
Oh yes.
Good.
Do I actually get to eat this guy after, or is it kind of a,
Just get your munch on now. Just get your munch on now. Just be,
I will eat his robes first. It's kind of like diet armor.
It's like kale. You wouldn't wear it, but.
It's stuck in my teeth somehow. Okay. Cool. Buru, what are your questions that you really like to ask of Justine?
Well, depends on what we're doing for the rest of the day, really. I mean, I want to spend like 8 or 9 hours with him and write down his life story if I can.
Okay. I will say that that's probably like we keep him alive and just stick him in the brig or in this animal. Like
Oh, we have a
holding
brig?
area.
Oh, right.
We have a brig. Suzanne was locked there for a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can
Suzanne.
stow him in there and come and visit him here and there if you would like to keep him alive. But probably, I mean, I would assume that people are not gonna chill in the ship for the next while. But I will say that you guys can tie him up to the extent that you know he's not going anywhere.
Okay.
Should we leave the snail to watch him?
You can, but I cannot guarantee that he will still have robes when I'm done with him.
That's kinky, but I don't think.
But not like in a sexual way. I reproduce asexually, actually.
Oh wait, are you pregnant?
No, it's like a budding kind of thing.
Buddy?
Yes. Whenever I find an unoccupied suit of armor, I split in half, and then one part of me goes in that part of armor, and then this part of me stays in this one, and then we become two, though genetically identical, philosophically, fundamentally, and personality-wise extremely different creatures. So, that's kind of my whole deal.
Your whole deal.
Maybe you'll see that if I find an, like an unoccupied cop somewhere.
Yeah, I'll find a cop for you, man.
Does
Maybe
cop still mean armor? Sometimes I feel like it doesn't mean armor.
I'll find you a cop with a little deet.
That sounds incredible. I would like that a lot.
Okay.
And yeah, he watches over the Justine. As you guys are free to do whatever you like on the gun. We can maybe just like set up what we want to do for the next session.
That
Kind of
cat's
put some
distracted.
plans into motion.
Yeah, I'm looking at the cat.
Cat?
Oh no.
We lost
Sorry. He
Oh.
likes pens, so he was like, "Oh, you're taking notes? I would like to eat them."
What's his name?
This is Val.
Cute.
Aw.
He's a biggie boy.
I can't see your screen.
Oh,
What if I leave and
I
then...
thought I turned it back on.
No, I can see it.
It's just
Yeah, I
me,
can
I
see it.
think.
Oh, good.
Okay,
Aw.
so what should we do?
Oh.
Just in general? Because I'm sort of thrown off from a lot of things. They don't
Well-
want Aurelius on the island. The government people, apparently.
No, and also, unbeknownst to me, it is apparently quite illegal to light things on fire, which is fair. But when they discover that Shao has gone missing and or that his body is now a charcoaly log, that will not be good. Is all I have to say.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we have to do something quick.
With the bodies, for
We
sure.
I don't think we can stay on this island very much longer.
I can say,
Yeah.
I will say that if you guys hide the bodies, that you guys would have done that before asking Justine all these questions.
Yeah,
Probably the
you
quickest
don't
way.
you don't keep bodies around.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I don't
What?
know.
We'll have it for dinner.
What are we having? Quarter blue
Nice
pin.
BBQ.
Okay, so either we just try to leave with the ship as is.
We could take Justine's ship. It's small, but it holds at least, 10 or so people, which means us and a few animals.
But as
Leave
a
the
And
kid,
Reaper,
Simon?
I can't
leave the Reaper docked.
I can't leave my crew behind. We've
No.
been through thick and thin.
But I
They
mean,
look
a lot
up
of
to
them
me.
were planning on leading a different life anyway. That's not to say we should abandon anyone who doesn't want to stay, but maybe this is a new life for them.
I don't think anyone personally, I'm just putting this out there. This silence sort of sucks when it comes to any kind of variety. Like this, have you ever tried to talk to normal Warforged around here? Like they have like 5 lines of dialogue and their replies are very similar. They go certain
Hello,
What
routes
if-
all the time. Like if they go certain routes every day at every time, you're gonna get used to it. And I'm just saying it's not a pirate's life.
Or we convince Orin to do it for more free than he did before.
Okay, if we offer him the boat in 200 gold, that boat's probably worth at least 300.
Buru,
It's at
can
least
you,
worth the wood he needs.
Buru, can you roll an inside check for me?
So insightful.
Yes, I
Nat
can.
20. Nat 20. There is an empty boat next to yours, and you have fully went into a store that like buys driftwood and uses it to craft different things for their wares. So it occurs to you that Flotsam and Jetsam, the couple who runs that store that you tried to buy the loot or the lyre from, would 100% be down to buy that wood from y'all.
Okay.
For some amount of money. You don't know how much gold it would be. I'd nat 20 insight, it would probably get you there. It'd probably
Groovy.
get you there. Yeah.
But yeah, I suggest that to everyone.
All right then. Then we'll just try to sales pitch the boat and use the money from the boat and what they already had, fix the ship, and vominos. Any objections? Any
I
weird?
A la playa.
I want to see if we can find the message that Aurelius
Mhm.
got,
Oh
where he
yeah.
got.
We should
Yes,
split up.
definitely.
We should split up to save time then.
Mhm.
One crew is on the message squad, the other is sell stuff squad. I
Cool.
think me, Alok, and Buru could make a solid pitch. Just putting that out there.
I believe so as well. Alok's
Buru,
got that natural charisma.
Buru, you've already met Flotsam and Jetsam. You know where it is, so you'd probably be on that side of things.
Yeah, I was a
Um,
little sassy last time though.
A little bit, but you know, everyone's a little sassy sometimes.
Makes you memorable.
Yeah, like, I'm not sure I'm in a headspace right now to be able to make a pitch, but
Oh.
I can go with you still if you like.
Can you?
I would want to bring you with you just because you're in such a weird state.
I was.
Need to walk.
I really thought you'd be very important because part of the sales pitch was everyone posing, and I felt like you'd pull it off better than most.
I don't want to do a
Don't
pose.
want to do a pose.
Not really.
Don't worry. I use silent image and make a version of him do a pose. It's okay.
That works.
All right, so you just stand behind
Oh
me
my
and
God.
act like you're.
Yep.
There we go.
A homebrew rule of mine, by the way, spell slots don't count if you're doing a bit. So
Very good.
if you're doing a bit, it's okay. You do not have to mark off the spell slot. Just going to make that clear.
Okay.
By
the way, just
cool.
a question, DM.
Yeah.
After all this horribleness, we interrogated a guy. We don't know. We got a plan and everything.
Yes.
Level
Yes, you level up.
3.
Yes, you level
Where
up.
is
Yes!
Simon? No. Where is Simon?
Oh,
Is
He was in a
dead?
barrel that whole time.
Oh yeah.
he slept through the whole thing.
Where is Simon? I'm worried.
Yeah. Do you look for him?
Yeah.
Go ahead and make a roll.
Oh, yeah. Of course, I'll make a roll.
18. You sense anxiety in the air. You sniff it out,
It's in the
and you're like,
cupboards.
you go into the kitchen, and you hear whimpering, and you open like a barrel just full of pickles. Then Simon pops out. Is it over? Is it over, Captain?
They killed so many of us. We barely got
Oh
out.
my God! Which ones and why was it? Suzanne. Oh, you mean? Oh wait, is the crew back? There was such a. It sounded like a lot was going on, and I just, I was kind of a little bit,
You get
frazzled.
pickly. You get what you want a pickle. Yeah, I understand. When I get scared, I want a pickle.
Yeah, no, these were cucumbers when I got here.
Get out of the barrel. You should get out of the barrel.
That sounds appropriate. Okay. And he climbs up and topples the barrel over, and then keeps talking as he's yes, you're right. I need to sleep. Um, and the very pickly Simon crawls to his room. Like he can fully stand up, but this is a character choice for him. He is crawling to his room. But he is safe. He was not harmed. I actually did roll a stealth check for him in the middle of the fight. And I rolled a 19, and also nobody went in there, so nobody heard him
Our
whimpering until now.
perception was low. Oh, bad.
Yeah. Cool. I will say that is probably a good spot to end. If we maybe want to solidify plans now or solidify it in the chat, that would be cool. But I know that some people want to investigate Aurelius's quarters and what happened in his room. You still have that weird key. Make sure that you remember that you have portable portent now.
I put down the key and whatnot.
Cool.
And also the
you
wax. I'm keeping the wax.
Please keep the wax. It is all yours. Buru, you now have your documentary subject locked up in the brig. Alok, doing great, buddy. Very cool. Yeah, I will say that's a good spot to end for now. Thank you all for a great session.
Thank you.
Let me know if was the music cool?
I liked it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, great.
Okay, cool. I think we need to figure out how to consistently make it playlist instead of having to
If you have a bunch of songs and you just hit play for all of them, it'll just go in the order.
Oh, it'll cue it? Incredible. Yeah. Okay, that's awesome. Great. Thank you. All right. Have a great night. Thank you for staying on a little bit longer.
Thank you for going.
Just making sure one more time. We're all level 3.
I'm doing level 3 right now.
Level up to level 3. We're good.
Yeah. Subclass.
Subclasses are kicking in probably for some people.
Oh shoot! Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
More key points for your boy. I don't know what warlocks get. Another spell slot? Probably not.
No, they don't. No, they do not get spell slots.
No spell slots. Cool. Yeah. If there's anything different that you want to do on your 3rd level, let me know. Otherwise, go crazy. I can't wait.
Okay.
All right. Have a good night.
See you all
everyone.
next week.
See you next week.
See you, buddy.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
I was planning to level up, but okay. Well, bye.